it's, that's him 100%. I mean, without me hearing his voice, I'm like, it's unconfirmed. But if you got friends that knew him and grew up with him saying it's confirmed, then I gotta say, hey, yeah, this is probably Brian Kohberger. But I did send it into the FBI. I did clip that. I also went through 80,000 phone calls, found the number, sent it into the FBI as well, and they have that, and hopefully they get down to that information.
Good. Do you know that they are in receipt of it? Did they come back to you at all?
I know they have it. I've never got an email back yet.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are here this morning. Today is June 9th, 2023. There is a court hearing on Brian Kohberger this morning. I want to say let me pull it back up. I'm pretty sure, what was it? June 9th, 2023. A judge overseeing the case against Brian Kohberger charged with the killing 4 University of Idaho students last fall is set to hear arguments Friday over a gag order that largely bars attorneys and other parties in the case from speaking with news and reporters. So today there will be that going on. I see a bunch of different conflicting. Let me try to get the actual I think it was at 10:30 their time. Look, let me make sure. Shout out to everybody that's in the stream though. What's going on? I see a lot of fuckery going on in the community right now though. I see a lot of misinformation being spread, which I mean it's not new that's being spread. I mean, this misinformation is spread daily. So just watch out on what you guys believe that's being put out here. Now I'm looking, where's it at? So if it's at that time, then that'll be about 12 my time. Yeah, that's going to be about 12 my time. So we'll see how it goes. How's everybody doing this morning, though? Let me put this on. Attach this over to here. Put that there. Do that. So I mean, what is everybody's thoughts? What's going on through your mind this morning? Do you think that they should drop this gag order? Yes or no? Let me read some comments though. Shout out to everybody that's here. Like I said, Wisdom Speaks. What's going on? Shout out to Wisdom Speaks for coming by. Just Susie's thoughts. Courtney, Miss Go Lightly. What's going on? Ivani Beck. Shout out to you. Good morning to you also. Doozy. What's going on? I'm drinking my Ghost Energy Warheads drink, sour green apple. Hopefully we get this sponsorship signed up because this shit is good. Make sure you get you a Ghost Energy drink. They're very good. So, McLisa Pisces, how you doing? Welcome. I appreciate you coming by. Doozy, Susie, welcome everyone. Midwest girl, Big Sis, what's going on? Welcome. Wisdom Speaks. Hope everyone is having a good day. My day is just getting started. I appreciate you coming by. Happy Friday. I gotta know. Sandy, good morning. What's going on? Mega Truth. Delana. Salvatore, what's going on, buddy? I appreciate you coming by the stream this morning, What's going on, Papa Sal? Angela Daner, how you doing? Doozy, I seen you already. What's going on? Mar in the building. Susie says, thank you for joining us this morning. Please hit the thumbs up on the way in. Now, if you guys could drop down in the comment section below, what are your thoughts on this gag order? Truly, I mean, I'm going to be reading these comments before we get started and listen to this video, and then I'm going to open up the lines, and I want to hear from you guys. Of course, 7 minutes. I want to hear from people. I want you to call in. Let me know your thoughts on this gag order. Do you think this gag order should be lifted? Because there is a lot of misinformation really being thrown out here. I mean, we got people out here claiming they talk to the victims' families. We got people out here running with any Joe Schmo that sends them an email or calls into their show. Now that they take calls, all of a sudden you got all these people that are getting this information from parties and sources. They're just as bad as what Dateline has done. Yeah, our source says, and or you know, and then they add a name like Dave or this person or that person. Like, I mean, people are still arguing about this WSU Kim woman who was just completely shot out when it comes to what she said was facts. So it's just, you know, this gag order is causing a lot of misinformation, and I think it's allowing a lot of different theories to just keep spreading like a wildfire until the facts of the case put it all to rest. So I feel like that's the problems that you'll have in a high profile case like this with a gag order. Honestly, I haven't seen nothing as bad as this since people in the Delphi case were pointing at Libby German's father. There was just so many different things going on in the Delphi case and fingers being pointed at all different types of people. Very weird. I appreciate you, AJ. Thank you. Welcome, AJ. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, AJ and chat. I appreciate you joining the Rev Gang family. Make sure you join the Discord. Come in there. We stream shows. We hang out together. We are one in there. So make sure you come by. I do appreciate you joining. Shout out to you. We got to bring that up like that. I don't got my stuff in my room. I'm kind of chilling. I got an infection right now, but you know how that goes. Good morning. What's going on, Brenda? Appreciate you coming by. Brenda in the building. If they keep it locked down until trial results in it being aired, I'll take the trade, but I would like to hear some new information. Lift it or at least loosen it. That'll settle the misinfo. Welcome, AJ. Welcome. Nice seeing you, Protected, actually. Shout out to Protected. I think those YouTube creators who were pushing the drug agenda should donate their click money to Xana Foundation that themselves ruined. Alyssa says, can you elaborate on your community post from earlier? I mean, how much more do I need to elaborate? I'm sure half the people in this live right now that just already pulled up know what I'm talking about. Let's check this out, though, because I'm still on, we got this gag order here in today, and I don't, to be honest with you, as much as a lot of us want it lifted, and this is just my personal opinion on what I think is going to happen, I don't think they're really going to loosen up this gag order at all. I think they're going to keep it in place. The defense is fighting for it to be kept in place, and I get it. I understand that. So, I mean, there's just going to be a lot of shit going on in the community. There's a lot of people that are claiming they're talking to this person, that person, this person, all these different people that they're talking to, but nothing has been vetted. These people won't come on camera. These people won't show, but they're so scared in this town. But yet you'll give your first and last name to a bunch of random YouTubers who you think that you can trust, and they will sure run with your story to the moon. I don't know if you get satisfaction out of this or what, but there is 4 victims that lost their life to a cruel individual that went into their house where they're supposed to feel comfortable at and killed them, took their breath, took them out of this earth. And people think that it's just one big fucking game of Clue. It's one big, oh my God, let me just get as much as I possibly can. Let me just let me just put out as much info as I can because I see that there's people that have a lot of questions. So let me just spin some more narratives to this story and make some more twists and turns since there's a gag order. Because I can guarantee you, if the information was out there that was in evidence or anything that they have against Kohberger allegedly, I think a lot of this speculation would be simmered down a little bit. Of course, you're going to have conspiracies when it comes to high profile cases in general. And I'm just speaking in general. You're going to have that. But at the same time, people just reaching to grow their channel based off of an email that they got from a regular Jenny Johnson and Bobby Smith who says, yeah, my daughter's name is Kimberly Johnson and she goes to the WSU, and then you look it up and you think that you vetted that. And it's just, there's a lot of attention seekers out here. I mean, for instance, there was a woman that her daughter was missing. And this woman got messages from people on Facebook talking about, I have your daughter right now. Send me $10,000 and I'll send her back to you. And this is how cruel the community is. People need to be aware of how cruel people are, and people who will email pretending to be somebody that they're not. Stop being so vulnerable to what you see. It's crazy. It bothers me. It bothers me a lot. It is what it is. In my opinion, the gag order is causing more issues than it's helping anything. Way too much speculation. I agree with that 100%. Shout out to you, Buck Cherry Lover. I appreciate you chiming in. Mega True says NYPL just ran an article about BK attending the feminist author lecture whores. I think I seen something on that on Twitter. Law Harris doesn't give any credence to WSU Kim. The gag order could cause a mistrial. I mean, could it? Gag order is causing rampant speculation, in my opinion. I agree with that 1,000%. Angela Danner says, I think it should be lifted. It's bringing out the crazies, and it needs to stop. Let's see. Good morning, Brenda. I appreciate you coming by. Shout out to you, Brenda. Mike D, what's going on? I see you, brother. Hey, Trev, brother. In the rep gang, salute everyone. All right, let me go down a little bit more. Maybe I missed something. Shout out to you. Thank you, Ms. Thank you for the 5 gifted. I actually just seen that when I went back to chat over here. Shout out to you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Karma, shout out to you too. Thank you. I just seen that. Lollipop, thank you. Lollipop, I appreciate you. Lollipop, a member for 6 months. Everybody give a round of applause to Lollipop being here for 6 months. I love you. Thank you for being here with me for 6 months. I really appreciate you. Treasure, Hawkshaw, I see you. 2 months. Thank you. What is that? A-Rob 360 for 2 months. Thank you. I appreciate you. Shout out to them. I appreciate you guys being loyal. I love you. Shout out to them. That's mad love. I see you. I don't know why that didn't show on my end, but on my way to work, great to hear you, bro. Blessed day. Thank you. I appreciate you, Karma. Love you, girl. Stay safe. LOL T-REV. Lift it so there won't be so much conspiracy theories. All right, so let's get into it. Let's watch this little quick 15-minute video. I'm going to turn on the phone lines. Make sure you get it ready. It's 219-885-9693. I want to hear from you guys. We are going to get back to these phone calls today. I want to hear your thoughts on the gag order. I want to hear your thoughts on the misinformation being spread around the community. People lying, acting like they're talking to family members. People lying and inserting themselves, saying that these people knew about the killings before this, that, and the third. Now, I do remember watching on ABC, or was it ABC or the one on NBC? There's been quite a few shows that came out now. One of the friends said that she got a call that Ethan was dead. And now I think she said it was at 10:30. Now, I could be wrong. Delana, Karma, Callie, tons of other people. We all watched it in Discord together. So I know that you guys probably know more of the precise time. I got so much documents in front of me, I tend to forget little times. But one of the friends of Ethan reached out and said, or was it Ethan or Xana, reached out and said exactly what time they found out that they were deceased. So I know that's in the documents on that. Glass Garden is fuck. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate you. Thank you. Boston Hippie says it's so heartbreaking.
Now to
I agree.
Idaho, where suspected murderer Brian Kohberger is going to be returning to court tomorrow for a motions hearing. Our Court TV team will be there for it all. Kohberger is accused, of course, of fatally stabbing 4 University of Idaho students
Sean
last
Sundays,
November.
thank you for coming
On
by.
the motion docket is a defense request to ban cameras in the courtroom. That will take place tomorrow, but today is a big day. And our Court TV legal correspondent, Shanley Painter, who's been covering this case since the very beginning, is up in Coeur d'Alene, a couple hours away from Moscow, and there for a very special reason. Shanley?
I mean, let's add some commentary onto this, too. I mean, we talked about it yesterday, but I couldn't stop thinking about it. The Kohberger's defense requests cameras be banned. Now, I see people saying, oh, see, Kohberger didn't want attention. He didn't want attention. He wants cameras to be banned. No, dipshit. That's his defense team that wants cameras to be banned. How do you know if Brian Kohberger wants cameras to be banned? Brian Kohberger doesn't decide if cameras be banned. His defense team is going to want to try to do what's best in his interests. I highly doubt Brian Kohberger went to his defense team and said, please make sure there's no cameras. Now, that's me speculating, but I'm pretty sure he definitely didn't go say that to his defense team. They want to shut down anything and everything that's coming. Just my thoughts.
Hello, good afternoon to you. Today would have been Kaylee Gonzalez's 22nd birthday.
CKI, thank you. I appreciate you.
That's right,
you.
Ted, and her family celebrating in a very
special I appreciate you.
way. I have one of the posters they've been handing out across town. Kaylee Jade Day. Today she would have been 22 years old, and they're encouraging everyone everywhere to do more of what you love. And they even list on the poster things that Kaylee loved to do. One of those things was paying it forward by treating someone in the drive-through line behind you to a free coffee or a free meal. And that's where we are right now. We're in the Coeur d'Alene area where I spent the morning with Steve Gonsalves as he made several stops dropping off cash to help these local businesses who have helped him and his family since Kaylee's death give it back to the community and honoring her, keeping her and the other victims at the forefront of this story. I'm outside of Renee's on Ramsey. They have been bustling busy all morning long at this coffee shop, and I have one of the workers here who actually grew up with Kaylee Gonsalves. This is Shayla Anderson, and Shayla, you were here with me when Steve was with me and handing out cash. How was it to see him on such a special day like today?
Oh, it was so good. He was in such high spirits too. You could just tell that he was feeling good about doing something good, and that's the whole point of days like this. We're just trying to spread some positivity.
Yeah, and keep the focus on what today and this whole story really is about. And that's Kaylee, Maddie, Ethan, and Xana. And you had a unique perspective because you grew up with Kaylee. Tell me about that.
Kaylee and I grew up together. We went to high school together. We spent a lot of time in these lines here at this stand. So yeah, it's been really nice that my boss has even allowed things like this to happen, to be involved. Even all the little local businesses, just being very involved. So
that's what Steve was telling me. He was telling me that when this happened, businesses like the one you work out here would provide meals for the family. They would be there, whatever they needed. And he said that this shop really did a lot. Were you hearing a part of that when it?
Yeah, we were able to do a donation day when everything kind of first happened in the first couple months. So we did do a donation day and just kind of held a spot where our customers and people of the community could come and drop off their donation. But we were just a spot. We weren't even giving anything back that day, but the huge turnout that we had, and nobody was getting anything in return. So it was a really cool.
As soon as we pulled up at your destination earlier today, we see the poster that I just held up of Kaylee. Everyone that drives through here, there's cars in this line all the time. Yeah. I know it's busy and you stepped out to be on with us, but you're making sure people know what.
Good morning, Paula. Welcome everybody that's just coming in. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're new. Make sure you get your phones ready. Like I said, I'm going to be taking phone calls 7 minutes. Everybody, I want to know your thoughts on this gag order. Should they lift it? Should they not lift it? Why should they lift it? Why shouldn't they lift it? Let's hear both. I mean, if you have a thought on why they shouldn't lift it, I want to hear it. If you have a thought on why they should lift it, I want to hear it. Don't be afraid to pick up the phone and call in.
what today is, and you've been giving away coffee. Tell me about what people are saying about that today.
I mean, they're excited, they're happy, and they just can't wait to drive out and spread some more love, spread some more kindness. Everyone's thankful, but they're excited to get their own hands dirty too.
Sure. When you said, okay, this is free, this is an honor, what did they tell you?
They're very thankful. They kind of ask where it comes from, and it does come from the families. Maddie's mom also dropped off some money as well, same with Steve. So we let them know that it is coming from the families and that they're wanting to give back because they recognize what our community has done as well.
So hoping that it continues from them, that those who are given something continue to give on. And you said Maddie, there was a Maddie May Day too in May for her birthday, and you guys participated in that as well.
Yes, we're just trying to stay as busy as we can. We're just trying to keep up with all the events, but we're just trying to keep their memories alive, and that's how you do it, is by these acts of kindness and these little things. So
yes, absolutely. And you actually you're wearing show us the sweatshirt. This is a special shirt. Tell me about it.
So this is Tara Stitches makes these. You can find them online, just taratstitches.com. But it has all of their names on the back of them as well, or they have the individual names. On the front, they have released some new T-shirts and hats as well on their new website. So that's exciting. Some new wear to wear.
And then, how shocking was that this happened?
Oh, it was extremely shocking. Nobody believes it at first. Even now. Oof, sorry. Sorry, your question.
Okay. Take your time. No, I think that answers what I asked you. How difficult this has been, how shocking this has been.
It's very shocking. It's exciting to see everything that she's done, though. All the people mourning. So many people, so many lives were touched by these 4 people.
Welcome, Amanda. Shout out to Amanda. Let's see. I see Amanda, Okie Angel. Without cameras, you'll just have reporters fill the court and still give their spin resorting. Yeah, no doubt.
So yeah, it's just exciting. It's a good thing. It's so bittersweet. It's so very bittersweet. We're excited to be able to do something, but the fact that we have to do something to spread the love, to overrun the hate, it sucks, but we get to do it, and we're excited to do it.
Yes, and we thank you for doing it and honoring Kaylee in this way and helping bring her alive a little bit more for us here on Court TV. We'll talk to you, all day. We're going to be hanging out at your coffee shop here, but for now, I'll let you go, Shayla. Awesome. Thank you so much for your insights and for being a part of this day and being on with us for that. And, Ted, they're going to be doing this entire day, and they hope that it carries on past today, of course, to live more like Kaylee and Maddie, Ethan, and Xana lived their life, and they want to focus. Steve Gonsalves told me today he doesn't want the name of the person responsible even brought up. He wants people to remember the names of the victims here, and this is part of that effort, Ted.
Well, that person, we won't say his name, in court tomorrow, and you'll be there for that. A couple different motions be dealt with as this case moves forward.
That court that they're talking about is today.
Will a bit about that, what we should expect tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. I do want to back up a little bit and play some sound from Steve Gonsalves from today because he talked to me about how difficult it is to celebrate the birthday of Kaylee, her first birthday in heaven, as he said today. So let's listen. How difficult it is today.
I try not to think too much about any of the darker side of the aspects. I just try to stay positive. There'll be days where I have to focus on the negativity, but today's not one of them. I'm glad all the families are able to have a day where they can talk to the media and share the nuances about what made their child special. And today's our day, but Xana's probably next.
Yeah, and he, of course, just a tower of strength. I don't know where it comes from. He said he just takes it one day at a time. He really is the backbone of that family, Ted. But tomorrow, as far as tomorrow, he told me for the hearings, he will not be in court. He's going to watch remotely tomorrow. In fact, the family attorney, Shannon Gray, who is going to argue one of the motions in the morning, is also just going to Zoom in. He said, this is what Steve told me, Ted. It's summertime here in Idaho. We only get about 3 months of summertime, so you have to use this time when it's warm and sunshine wisely. So they're going to take advantage of zooming in tomorrow, but it will be an important day as far as this gag order. And that's an issue that's important to Steve Gonsalves because he believes the truth needs to be out there. He wants the public to see the evidence that they have. He doesn't understand why the defense would think, or the prosecution would think, that would contaminate the jury in any way. So in the morning, his attorney is going to argue to clarify or amend that non-dissemination or gag order that this judge put in place several months ago. And then later in the afternoon, the press, the media coalition, who they're trying to vacate this gag order altogether, calling it unconstitutional. That will also be argued inside the courtroom tomorrow. We will be there. Our cameras will be there, but the defense is trying to ban our cameras, Ted. Steve Gonsalves is also against that issue. Let's take a listen.
If you're not a personable person and you give off weird vibes, yeah, you probably don't want nobody to actually see the truth,
Agreed.
see who you are, and read you for how you behave.
All right, so I mean, for everybody who's in chat, who pays for these public defenders? Who pays for these courtrooms? Just curious. Why does little old Brian Kohberger, or anybody for that instance, deserve to have a quiet trial? This doesn't make sense to me. You know, it doesn't, especially when it comes to a crime of this magnitude.
You can't hide the truth, man. I'm so tired of the secretive and all that stuff. I want this stuff to be out in the open. There's more than enough evidence for people to make a decision, and how can the truth contaminate anything?
Say it again, Steve. Talk to him, Steve.
Tomorrow we will be there. Our cameras will be there, but the defense is trying to ban our cameras, Ted. Steve Gonsalves is also against that issue. Let's take a listen.
If you're not a personable person and you give off weird vibes, yeah, you probably don't want nobody to actually see the truth, see who you are, and read you for how you behave. You can't hide the truth, man. I'm so tired of the secretive and all that stuff. I want this stuff to be out in the open. There's more than enough evidence for people to make a decision, and how can the truth contaminate anything?
So we shall see what the judge does tomorrow. Again, tomorrow we will be a couple hours south of here in Moscow for those important hearings, Ted. We expect Brian Kohberger to also be in the courtroom.
All right. Great job today, Chanley. It's very emotional. I can't imagine what the family is going through on a day like today. A birthday is a trigger, and this is a birthday they don't have Kaylee with them, but out there trying to make a positive difference. Chanley, thank you. We'll be checking in with Chanley throughout the day and have more from Steve Gonsalves and her interview with him throughout the day here on Court TV as we look forward to tomorrow's hearing. Josh Schiffer and Jack Rice are still with us. Jack, to you first on this idea that the defense doesn't want cameras. The prosecution is sort of iffy, saying at the end of the day it's up to the court, but they seems like they're not big fans of it. From the victim family members' point of view.
Now it says here, from what I'm reading, Brian Kohberger will be back in court on Friday, June 9th, petitioning to have cameras eliminated from the courtroom for the entirety of the proceedings against him. Kohberger is charged with the murders of the 4 University of Idaho students Kaylee Gonsalves, Madison Mogan, Ethan Chapin, and Xana Kernodle that occurred in November 2022. Now, they're also going to be talking about the gag order. Now, I just don't think that these cameras should be barred from, being in the courtroom. They shouldn't. I mean, Travis Rudolph, all these look at the people that are in court. Like I said yesterday, Young Thug, for instance, well-known name, high-profile case. We're talking RICO charges. And you got this guy's shit right there on the screen. I mean, it's just, come on. How was that? How did the dude have a fair trial there? How did the person have a fair trial for killing what was XX Tentacion? How did he have a fair trial? I mean, that was live on Law and Crime. Well, the little O'Brien Kohberger is a little bit bigger than them, or what? What's going on here? I just don't see it. I'm not able to see that side.
Bring it on. They want people to see what this person allegedly did. Why is it, do you think, and we went through this with the Lori Vallow scenario, and they ended up banning cameras. What's the problem? Why? What's the mentality, do you think, of the players involved, prosecutors and sometimes judges and defense attorneys that, no cameras, what do you think is behind that? I know what they argue, but what do you really think is going on?
What they're afraid of. And let's stay with
I want to make this very clear for everybody who watches my channel in general or just comes here to call in and listen to the phone calls and listen to everybody's opinions. I want to give you guys a voice. So get ready to have your phones ready, because I'm about to open up these lines right now, let people call in. I don't know if you guys want to should we stick to 5 minutes? All right, I'm at 7 minutes, or should we move it down to 5 like the original timing used to be? Let me know your thoughts on that down below in the comments. I definitely am going to be reading them. Should we stay at 7 minutes, or should we move back down to 5 minutes on the phone calls? I'm curious, as you, the listeners, what is your thoughts on that?
the defense for a second. The reason the defense is afraid of cameras in this case is because what they really want is they're trying to find, and the terms they're usually going to use is a fair and impartial jury. And the fear is that if all of this evidence and all these little pieces come rolling out, what it's going to do is it's going to convince everybody in the room before the doors even open that that guy did it. And what they're hoping for is to get somebody who can sit back and say, okay, let's look at all the evidence as it's presented in the courtroom, because I can tell you the difference between what we see in the world and what actually gets to the jury itself is sometimes very different. And they're struggling in this case because there is a lot of evidence. And there's a lot that could come in everywhere from Washington to Idaho to scrubbing across the country all the way to Pennsylvania and everything in between. And if all of those pieces come together, including triangulation and where the cars are and where the eyewitnesses are and the DNA and the knife and everything else, or the knife sheath anyway.
Consensus is in 5 minutes. I see the consensus. I mean, maybe 5 minutes and 30 seconds. 5 minutes. I'll let people know, hey, it's 5 minutes. You got 30 seconds left. Yeah, it looks like 5 is the consensus.
All of that is going to make it almost impossible to get one of those jurors or 12 of those jurors to come in and say, yeah, I'll wait and see what gets presented. That's really their argument.
And Josh, in their motion, the defense pointed out that every time he's in court and there's video of it, the media or people online, they're calling him a creep, or look at his eyes, or he's dead behind those eyes. And sometimes there's body language experts analyzing, well, yeah, he looks like he's blank. He looks like he's blank. Do they have a point that because there is so much interest here that there could be some damage to his rights?
Absolutely. The integrity of the system is the ostensible issue at hand. And the state, the defense, and the court have a public obligation to ensure the integrity of our criminal justice system. But at the same time, despite their best intentions, they're showing everybody that the criminal justice system isn't an experiment in openness and transparency. It's an exercise in secrecy. It's an exercise in keeping information away from people, only giving certain information at certain times in a regulated manner in order to produce what is ostensibly and hopefully a fair result. And there are big problems with overexposing certain issues in the criminal justice system, especially victims, things like that. What we're seeing going on in the Peterson case, for example, where someone might have wanted some secrecy or privacy or confidentiality. The people in a case such as Kohberger, they don't get any of that. And everybody's talking about how much more victimization is going to happen to the families of these murder victims during this trial. So there's really very valid justifications to not overexpose it. That's balanced, though, with the natural interest of everybody else in the country wanting to know how our criminal justice system works, wanting to ensure the integrity of our courts, of our police, of the defense. We have a natural interest in that. And it's really important that we know what's going on. And hopefully the courts are going to regulate this appropriately. I feel with the public issues at hand, we need more transparency in this case, even if it makes it more difficult for the state to successfully chase a death penalty.
Yeah, and you do have the jury selection process, which hopefully can eliminate some of the issues that are being brought up by the defense. We'll see.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to it. What are your thoughts on this gag order? I'm going to open the lines right now. It's 219-885-9693. I just took it off Do Not Disturb. You are able to call in right now. Make sure you give me a call. Let me put the phone number at the top of the screen for you guys so everybody sees the phone number right in your face. Boom. There it is right there. Do you think that they should release this gag order? Do you think that they should allow cameras in the courtroom? I mean, whatever one you want to talk about, let's talk about it. I want to hear from you guys specifically today. 5 minutes. 740, you're on the show. What's going on? You're live. You got 5 minutes and 30 seconds. The floor is yours. Let everybody know your thoughts. What's going on?
All right, I will make it quick. Basically, I just have always found it disturbing that if attorney generals or someone does a drug sweep and they arrest, 30 people, they don't have a problem putting them on the front page of the newspaper, basically showing the world, whether the people are guilty or not. They put them out there. They put, newspapers with mugshots of people with DUIs and everything else. And we're still able to be on juries with these people. So why keep everything secret with this? It just feels like it makes it worse. That's just my opinion. And I don't know. I just think everybody deserves to have all the information so that we can make informed choices instead of just going by all the hearsay and everything else. So you have a great show. Thanks for letting me call in and have a great day.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you for calling up and sharing your opinion with us. God bless you. Lock your doors, and hopefully I hear from you again. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ohio.
Well, shout out to you in Ohio, and I appreciate you listening. And shout out to you, man. Lock your doors, stay safe, stay vigilant, because it is very dangerous out here.
Amen.
Amen. God bless you. Shout out to her. I appreciate her calling in. Shout out to her. Good call. Everybody else that wants to call in, 219-885-9693. She did not use her 5 minutes. Let's hear from you. Let's hear from you. 859. I hope you're doing mighty fine. You're live. What's going on? 5 minutes and 30 seconds. The floor is yours. What's your thoughts?
I think they should lift the gag order, and I think there should be cameras. I mean, the jury, when they get in there, they review the evidence. That's what they do in every trial that we've watched. So I don't understand why they have to have a gag order.
Right.
No cameras. I mean, every trial, like Lori Vallow, look at all that stuff that came out. But the jurors, when they went there, they convicted on the evidence that they saw. That's what jurors do in every case.
Right.
Whether it's, big case or whatever. They go by the evidence. They think we're all stupid. We're not stupid. If you're a juror, you go by the evidence. That's what you do.
Right.
That's what you're sworn to do. It doesn't matter what you saw on the outside. It matters what you see in court.
Yes.
And like the last caller said, they plaster everybody's face and tell everything about everything, but not this case. I just don't understand.
Yeah, and they're making the argument. I've read the documents. They made the argument of yesterday about people are judging them, this, that, and the third. But I mean, this happens with
Oh, that's
every
fine. It
case.
happens in every case. Exactly. But that's what I said. When they go to court, the jurors that are there review the evidence. In every trial we've watched, they've not brought anything from the outside into court.
Exactly.
They have to review the evidence.
Exactly.
And I'm sure
we want to turn
thousands of evidence against this guy. I mean, I'm not saying he's guilty. I want to see the evidence like everybody else.
Right.
If he's guilty, he's guilty. You know?
Agreed.
But that's what I'm saying. I just don't understand why he has to have a gag order, why he's so special that nobody can know anything.
And it's the same thing going on with the case with Richard Allen right now. You know, they got that going on, and that same. It's just kind of like the same thing, you know.
Right, the Delphi case, yeah. But that's what I said. It doesn't affect the jurors.
Right.
I mean, that's what I said. You know, if you take an oath when you're a jury, you go in there and you review the evidence that they present in court. Not anything that's been, whatever. They review the evidence. That's what I said. They think people are stupid. We're not stupid.
Exactly.
You know, we can go in. I can watch everything and still go in with a clear, and say, I'll judge on the evidence. That's what you do.
Because if it smells funky and it's bullshit, like a lot of people are out here creating, everybody with inquiring minds will notice if it's bullshit. We'll call it as we see it.
Exactly. Call it bullshit if it's bullshit. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's why I just don't understand why he has to have a gag order.
Exactly.
That's what I said. When the trial, we'll know if he's guilty or not.
I agree with you 100%.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's guilty. I'm not saying he's innocent. I want to see the evidence, and then I'll make my decision, right? Like you're supposed to.
Evidence is submitted.
And apparently, there's so much evidence. That's why there's a gag order. He doesn't want it out there.
Yeah, his defense, they're fighting for that gag order to be stuck. If he was so innocent and he wanted to be exonerated,
they would want everything out there.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying, though. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm not convicting him yet. But when he goes to court and I see the evidence, if he's guilty, he's guilty. I don't understand it. I just really don't. I just don't understand.
Me neither.
They think we're stupid. They honestly do. They think people are stupid, and we're not.
Far from it.
Far from it. Exactly. We judge on the evidence, not hearsay or not what somebody said, this or that. What they have in court that proves that he's guilty or innocent. That's what we go by.
Exactly. And people just don't. I mean, they're like, oh, well, you guys are saying he's guilty. Well, I mean, honestly, I think they do got the right guys of right now for me, but I can't speak for everybody else. You know what I mean?
I personally do too, but that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to say he's guilty until I see the evidence. And if the evidence proves it, then he's guilty.
You're speaking exactly for me. You're putting it in words for me. That's exactly how I feel. I'm able to be able to say, okay, this is smelling like shit. If it comes that way. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And if it don't, then it don't. That's what I'm saying. You have to prove it. Once it's proved, there you go. But all this other stuff, all this drug hub, all this crap is just ridiculous. I mean, it's, people think one person couldn't go in and do that. Are you serious? With that kind of knife, you could kill 20 people.
It's insane.
I mean, they don't have anything to defend themselves. I mean, you go in with a knife, my God, you could kill a whole house. What are they going to do? They can't defend themselves.
Absolutely. I appreciate you calling us.
You slit somebody's throat, they can't scream, they can't holler. You cut off their air. First thing. Stab them in the chest. They can't breathe. They can't holler. They can't do anything.
Exactly.
I mean, he knew exactly what he was doing when he went in there.
Well, I appreciate you calling in. Where you calling in from, ma'am?
I'm calling in from Kentucky.
Well, shout out to you in Kentucky. I hope you have a blessed day. Thank you for calling in and sharing your thoughts. If you think of anything else, you can call back. It's been 5 minutes, 30 seconds. I'm going to get some other people on, but God bless you. And thank you for really having the balls to call in and share your thoughts and opinions with us and having a voice in the community. I really appreciate you and respect your opinion. God bless you, man.
Thank you too. Love your channel.
Thank you so much. Stay safe on this Friday, man.
Oh, I will. You too.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank
Shout
you.
out to her. Shout out to her. What a lovely soul. 219-885-9693. What's your thoughts? Do you think they should remove this gag order, or do you think they should keep it in place? Do you think they should put cameras in the courtroom? Thoughts on that? Love to hear from you. There we go. 207 sent from heaven. What's going on? You're live.
Hey, bitch, it's me.
What's going on? You got 5 minutes and 30 seconds. The floor is yours, biatch. Is this what is true?
It is.
Okay. That's what I thought.
So, like, first of all, I'm just going to start with this part. You know how there's so many claims being said about the victims and the families? It fucking infuriates me that people think it's okay to make such ridiculous accusations. And, watching some of these thumbnails on these freaking YouTube channels claiming they've spoken to the families and now they're speaking for the families, and it's vile. It's vile. They're doing that so they can support their bullshit stories for revenue. They don't fucking care about justice. I'm sorry. You might want to get the beep, beep, beep out.
Oh, it's okay.
I'm just so sick of it. It's disgusting. It's vile. This case is about 4 beautiful souls that are gone. Nothing is going to bring them back. And by character assassinating people, it's disgusting. People should be ashamed of themselves. Absolutely ashamed of themselves, for one. And as far as this gag order, I mean, misinformation is not good information. And by keeping this gag order in place, it's just, it's opening the way that, he can claim, something happened or blah, 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 or blah, blah, blah. When they're on TV, everyone can see, okay, maybe that was shady, maybe that wasn't shady, type of thing. And so I feel like, yeah, lift it. The family wants it lifted, and I'm behind the family. That's where I'm at. Because, they're out there. They don't want this to happen again. They don't want this to be somebody else's child, someone else's family. I mean, people forget, like, monsters walk among us, They can't fathom the fact that there is no justification, just the fact that there's evil monsters, and it could be any one of us at any time in any place.
Absolutely.
So, I'm just so wound up about it. It's infuriating. It's infuriating. And I don't know. I just think that this isn't a game of Clue. This isn't some, business for bullshit. And this is 4 beautiful souls. And I challenge all these people out here to walk in these families' shoes and think about what they feel and what they go through. And imagine that it was your family and your kids. How would they feel? Would they still spout off this, misjudgment and he's not going to get a fair trial?
Right.
You need to walk in someone else's shoes before you can judge them, as far as I'm concerned. And, these families have suffered enough. Enough is enough. Leave them alone, Just, if they want to speak, let them speak. But stop dissecting what they're saying. It's just ridiculous, and it's bullshit. And I don't know. I think the gag order will alleviate the misinformation that's being sold as truth, which it's all freaking lies.
I mean, I really don't understand why people go to the extent they do go to for content, and just don't. I don't understand why people don't just stick to the facts on what's on paper rather than sticking to what any Johnny, Bobby, Ricky, Jenny, or Kimberly can make on an email or call in on any show and say, yeah, well, I live in the town and they're saying this, that. I mean, I don't get that. You know what I mean? What's up with sticking to the facts? Because there's so many people, master manipulators out here that just want to insert themselves into some shit, and people and these creators will take it and run with it because they know that it'll get those. So
Right.
it's that's my problem, and that's why I'm sticking to fact-based reporting. I'm not gonna no longer entertain this wild speculation that's going on out here. I just can't. If it's vetted and there's receipts and families are speaking of it, then I'm ready to back the families. I want to back the victims. I want to back the victims' families. I don't want to be a part of this fucked up speculating bullshit that's going on and other suspects being created when there's no other suspects to be created at this point.
Well, and I mean, like I said, how would they feel? How would the drunk turkey show feel if this was his family? How would he feel if people were spewing lies and making
Right.
How would he feel? Like shit. And that's what we're doing. Or not we're not doing it, because I'm not doing it, you're not doing it. This channel doesn't do it. But, when you're saying god-awful things about the victims and the family, just, oh, my God. It makes me lose faith in humanity. And I am, I love most people. I don't like everyone, but I love everyone, if that makes any sense. But,
Absolutely.
it's awful. Put yourself, when you come up with these stupid speculations and these stupid made up fantasy island freaking novels that these people are writing, imagine it was you, because then the story would fucking change. I'm saying.
I'm with you on that. And I appreciate you. I appreciate you calling up and sharing your thoughts. It's been 5:30. If you want to call back, you can. You can always get through what is true. I appreciate you, and I just don't know. I'm not gonna. I just don't want to entertain something when we got to let the police do their investigation. And so far, I think they've done a wonderful job. At the beginning, I had my opinions, but it is what it is. Shout out to What Is True. I appreciate her calling in, sharing her thoughts. Everybody give a round of applause to What Is True. 219-885-9693. You guys know what's up. Make sure you call in. The lines are open. I want to hear from you. But yeah, it came to that. Speculation is wild. Thank you, Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. I appreciate the support of the channel. 415, you're live. What is going on? 5 minutes and 30 seconds. The floor is yours. What's your thoughts?
T-REV, how's it going, man? Good morning.
How's it going,
my
brother?
thought is, man, I'm doing good. Yeah, my thought is, I think they should keep the gag order, man, because
okay,
I don't want to play devil advocate or anything, but I just think that maybe if everything was leaked out of maybe that would compromise, like taint the jury pool a little bit. So I'm thinking there is a lot of speculation, but it's people making up shit. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like creating stuff and trying to get these views and make it all big on YouTube. And that's why I think they're trying to keep the cameras out of it, because you got all these YouTubers, not like you, or I don't know who you're talking about. I don't want to say their names, but they're just creating shit for clicks and views, and that's all they're in it for. You know what I mean? So you're creating a lot of speculation, and when you do that, you can have somebody maybe that's in Idaho or in that area, and they're listening to that shit, and then you know what I mean. Then they get a perceived notion in their mind that, hey, I believe this, and they're not gonna convert and go off the evidence like that other lady was calling and saying, and they're going off this preconceived notion that they got in their cognitive, like, yeah, he didn't do it. You know what I mean? He didn't do it. He's being framed. It was a drug house or whatever, and it's like it's just ridiculous. So
Yeah, I think you have a good point, and I want you to keep going. I'll just pause for a minute. Your point on why they should keep the gag order is actually, I respect it because you're speaking facts. You're speaking facts. Keep finishing up what you were saying.
Yeah, keep the integrity of the case. Keep all the evidence. Keep all the evidence, behind, with the lock and the key. That way, nothing can get out, and the jurors will have fresh evidence, not tainted and already out there. Because you know how we're going off the PCA. People are saying, oh, this and that, and this and that, and this and that. Like, they only put a little bit in that PCA just because they had to. You know what I mean? They don't want to show their whole hand on what they got. And just like they were saying this, it's exploratory evidence and all. What happened to that shit? That shit, I told you, that shit was a bunch of bullshit and smoke and mirrors, man. They ain't got no damn exploratory evidence. His ass would have been out of jail if they had some damn exploratory or whatever.
Exculpatory,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, exculpatory. Sorry, but yeah, the only thing that's weird to me is the whole Dylan and the crying and all that shit. I think I already told you about that yesterday.
Yeah,
it's just weird on that particular point. But, besides that, some shit went down in that house. They got his ass, and he's going down for that shit, man. He wants to hide his face because he looks hella weird, and you know what I mean, and a real person wants to look into your eyes. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, you used to look into a person's eyes, and they couldn't lie and tell. That you have to tell the truth because they wanted to look you in your eyes and see. They say eyes are the window to your soul, and he don't have no soul, man. Anybody can do some shit like that as a hateful, evil person, and he needs to be locked up, man. And I think they need to keep the gag order and locked because everybody's always coming out with these fucking theories and crazy ass shit. I think they need to keep the gag on lock so they, just keep it together so they can have a hopefully a good jury pool that's not tainted with preconceived notions and shit they heard on YouTube or somebody that hearsay, somebody said this and said that and got back to them, and so that's just my point of view. I don't want to keep rambling on it, but I just feel like it needs to keep in lock. That's just how I feel.
Nah, and I actually respect your take on that because that's you're speaking facts when it comes to that.
We already got enough stuff in the PCA. Yeah, we already got enough. The knife, damn, how much more do you need? A knife with his damn DNA on it, like, now what are you gonna say? Oh, they planted it and this and that. Like, come on now, like, it's 2023. I'm pretty sure they got enough digital evidence and a whole bunch of shit, and they're still trying to say this guy didn't do this shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on.
Yeah, you got a really solid point, bro. I really can't even argue with that. That's 100% a fact. They do that. They're not going to show their whole hand. They probably gave us 6% in that PCA, but it was filled with more than we expected. But it's still like 6%.
Right, and they're not using a knife. Like, they got some shit if they're not even going to use the damn knife. Like, they got some shit on his ass. Like, you can't hide your shit, man. It's going to come to the light, man. You know what I mean? So the guy's a creepy, weird ass looking dude. He should, you know what I mean? He shouldn't have did that shit. He should have took his ass to fucking school and kept doing what he was doing and made something of himself. But no, he wanted to do some evil, hateful ass shit. So he's gonna rot in prison for the rest of his life for that shit if they don't kill him. But yeah, keep the gag order unlocked, T-REV. I salute you and your channel, man.
No doubt, my brother. I appreciate you. Man. I appreciate you and your kind words, brother. God bless you and your family. And I always look forward to hearing from you, man. That was the second time you called in, right?
Yeah, I got to.
I like your take on it, man. I respectfully like your take on it, and you're against them dropping this gag order. You think that they should keep it, and you made some very good points that I actually agree with. Salute to you, brother. God bless you and your family. Stay safe and stay vigilant. You already know the world's nasty out here. Stay up. I'll hopefully hear from you again, my man. Thank you for calling in.
All right, take care, man.
All right, you too, brother. Shout out to him, man. I actually agree with a lot of stuff he just said. 219-885-9693. We want to hear what you think. Your opinion matters to me. I want to hear what your thoughts are. Should they keep this gag order in place? Should they drop it? I want to know. You can't get email with your number. I'll do backs like we used to. We're getting back into that Rev Gang original. 360, you're on the show. What's going on? You're live.
Hi, this is my first time ever calling into any show.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
You're
5
welcome.
minutes. 5 minutes, 30 seconds. The floor is yours. What's your thoughts? Speak to us.
I just, I think they need to keep they need to release the gag order.
Okay.
There's just so much stuff going on all these other creators' channels. It just makes me sick. I've dropped other subscribers because of that, or other creators because of that. Also, I just want to say, if they're not going to use the sheath, what else do they have? I mean, don't know what they found in this car. We don't know. There's a lot on that fire stick. There's so much that none of us know. That's all I want to say. And then I also saw I can't remember where I saw it, but I saw an interview with Brent Kopaka's best friend. Mm-hmm. And he said, and I think this is great because they're even dragging him into this, which is just ridiculous.
Absolutely.
But he even said himself that if this continues, he said they're going to file charges on people that are slandering Brent Kopaka.
And I don't blame them. They deserve that.
I don't blame them either. I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, it just needs to stop. But I think even if they did drop they can show that he 100% did this. And these creators are still going to say, oh, no, that was planted. They're still going to speculate. I mean, but I do hope they do drop it or allow cameras in the courtroom at least. So that's all I want to say.
Well, thank you so much for having the balls to call in, share your thoughts and your opinion. It's okay. It's just me and you. We're on here. Don't worry about what people say.
Well, I just think you're awesome, and I just became a member from somebody. I think you gifted me a membership, so thank you. And I really support your channel, and you're one of the best out there. So that's all I wanted to say.
Well, thank you so much. God bless you, man. Lock your doors, stay safe, and hopefully I hear from you again.
I do. I lock my doors. I'm at home by myself right now, and every single door is locked and everything.
Well, stay safe. Thank you again for having
T-REV.
a voice in the community. Your voice does matter. Your opinion does matter. Thank you so much. God bless you.
I appreciate it. Thank you, T-REV.
Stay safe, man.
Bye.
Thank you. Shout out to her. What a beautiful soul. 219-885-9693. We want to hear from you. What's your thoughts? Gag order in place. 252. What's going on? You're live.
What's up, T-REV?
What's going on?
Big Lou, Carolina again, baby.
All right, Big Lou, Carolina. 5 minutes, 30 seconds. The floor is yours, man. What's going on? What's on your mind? What's your thoughts on this? Let's go.
I think it's about time to go ahead and release that gag order, and let things fly. I also think that we need, when it comes time for court, it needs to be at the very minimum needs to be audio. I think it's gonna be a damn shame if they cut audio and video out.
Me too.
I mean, I just think transparency. After all these months and everything, even Kaylee's dad said that let's get it out there. I mean, but at the same time, there's this thing where we're starting to see about. I don't want to be out of line, but to say that kind of a backwoods, not say backwoods, but very private Idaho way of doing things I think needs to change. They're not used to it. They don't like the attention. They don't want it. they want to kind of move on. I understand that from a quiet state standpoint, but at the same time, they've got to realize that this case is like larger than life, and I guess I watched Court TV last night, and I guess Vinny Politano or whatever his name is was talking about, how does the truth mess things up?
Right.
I mean, you know what I mean? Why are we so scared of the truth?
Agreed.
To taint things. The truth is the truth. You can't avoid people having opinions, just like your show or any other show or any other content provider. I mean, it is what it is. Now, once you get it out there, let the people. I mean, the people have no play in this. It's going to be that jury. It really is, and it's going to come down to evidence. It's not going to come down to he said, she said. I mean, this is going to be along the lines of the OJ thing, where you're going to have to really come down with some evidence. Both sides are going to go to war.
Oh,
everybody's
sure.
saying, well, why is everybody so secret, and why are they keeping this, and why are they keeping that, and why are they filing this, and why are they filing that, and this motion against that motion, because they know this is going to be the biggest war. I mean, worldwide, everybody's going to be watching this thing. They know what it is. So, I mean, that's. I mean, we don't like it, but I understand why both sides are doing what they're doing. I mean, they're just maneuvering. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I mean,
it's a battle, man. It's a battle. His life is on the line.
It is going to be a huge battle. I mean, I think me and you both agree that it's going to be a huge case, but I think it's going to be past our expectations on this deal. And, the families need to have a fair shake. As much as I probably believe that Kohberger is the man, and I absolutely do, he deserves a fair shake.
Everybody does. When you're in the United States of America, you deserve your fair chance in court, whether there's overwhelming amount of evidence against you or not. If you take it that's your right. If you want to take it to trial, it's your right as an American. And the evidence can be stacked against you. We understand that. I stand by fair trial, but at the same time, we all are going to have our opinions also. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Right. I personally believe they're going to shut down both. I hate to say it, but I think they're going to shut them both down. I'm hoping for at least 50%, just the audio, and not if we can just have a bright light. I would hope for just the audio. I think we're going to shut both of them down. We're going to get a Daybell deal.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that yesterday when I was reading over those documents, and we'll find out. We'll see. Maybe they don't.
I don't want to speak anything into being, because I'm hopeful that it'll be a little bit different. But I just don't see it, man. And the way this judge is kind of, I don't know, man. We haven't seen too much of him as far as where he's going with it and what he thinks. But when I get my first impression on something and I'm watching something, I don't know, man. I don't think this guy is going to be giving us as the people what we really want to see or hear. You know what I mean?
Right.
I just don't think he's going to. I think he's going to err on the side of caution for both sides, shut it down, and But I don't know that I would want to be a judge in this case. I don't know that I would like to be one of the parties that were investigating this deal. I mean, it's going to be a huge war.
Yeah, it definitely is. Well, I appreciate you calling in, my brother. I'm gonna continue to take these phone calls. I want to give everybody your voice, man. I know a lot of people have been hitting me up. I've been catching the back end of a lot of comments, and I've really started going through my comments just to see the consensus on what's going on with just the show in general. The format was a lot different when I first started, and I feel like I want to get back to my regular dialogue, my format, my forte, which was hearing from you all and taking these phone calls. It's beautiful to hear from a lot of different people. A lot of people don't just want to sit up here and listen to me or one guest or just get a couple phone calls. And I want to have my lives and have them back to the format that we first started out with. It a lot of people have a voice. They want their voice to be heard. They don't want to just be in the comment section. They want to speak. They want to call in. I appreciate you doing that. God bless you, brother. Thank you for calling up and having the balls to share your opinion and having a voice in the true crime community, man. Lock your doors. Stay safe. God bless you and your family, sir. And thank you for sticking around and just calling in general and sharing your thoughts with us. We appreciate you.
Can I get one last sentence?
Yes, one last sentence, sir.
All right. I know you've been taking a little bit of heat for the last 3 weeks, and we know what all that's about, man. Stay strong. Keep your friends close, man. We all love you, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Later.
Thank you, brother. God bless you. Love you, man. Shout out to him. I appreciate you. Rev Gang family, stand up. 219-885-9693. Let's hear it. Dude, what's going on? You're live.
Hey, this is Alea from Pittsburgh. I was just calling because, I don't know about lifting the gag order completely, but just let it up a little enough that we get the evidence and we all see what's happening. I'm like I love true crime, but I've just had enough of all the lies and mysteries and drug deals and cartels and Dylan did it, Bethany did it, Hoodoo did it. Everybody but Kohberger did it, but Kohberger's the only one in jail.
Mm-hmm. Talk to him.
That makes no sense. If there was anybody else, if there was anything else, they'd be in jail. Not all those different police boroughs are really getting ready to just railroad Kohberger only. It's just not American. Not like saying the police are all of that or anything like that, but the people that they've pointed to, you think they wouldn't arrest the black guy with the white girl involved in this if it was anything else? Stop. So, to me, I just want to see everything so all of the lies and rumors can just go away and we can watch this trial. I mean, I'm not going to say Kohberger is absolutely 100% guilty because I am one that leans towards guilty, but I need to see the proof and I need to see it in plain sight.
Amen.
But I don't need to hear weirdness, it's just I mean, it's getting to the point where I'm just I don't want to watch any, no. I mean, there's a few, the attorneys, I like to listen to them. I like to listen to a very few, my true crime expansion of channels that I had subscribed to. I've just said, oh no, just never mind you. It's just you're sickening. But I just feel just lift it up enough that we can see what's going on. And then we'll take it from there. You don't have to tell us every nook and cranny. I don't need all of that. All I need is to see the facts, open them up so we can see, give it all so we can see. And once we see, that's it. You know what I mean? That's just all I want to see. I don't want to go down rabbit holes. They're not even rabbit holes. They're poop holes. It's you're going down into the toilet, dragging up poop. The next thing I know, it'll be Steve Gonzalez did it.
I've heard that one already.
See, it's just give me a break. I like true crime. I love true crime. I'm the deciding if I'm gonna do a channel and everything, but at the same time, it's like I don't want to deal with all of these lies. It's just a bunch of lies that I don't want to hear.
But if you
I
do
want to
true
hear the
crime,
truth.
you could cover and stick to fact based shit. You know what I mean? You're gonna go through like me. I went through a stage where I was talking to people that were telling me all types of stuff, and I was looking at it and entertaining it. But then I was like, why the hell am I entertaining this bullshit that has no facts behind it?
Exactly. And that's why I respect you, because I watched you go through from tin hat to wait a minute, let me get for real, because this is a for real channel. These are for real people. They're doing for real things. And I really appreciated that. Like, I was like, oh, okay. Phew. He's doing it better now.
I had to wake up. I had to wake up. I had
Yeah.
these people in my ear saying, I got evidence that Christy Gonsalves was a money launderer, and I got this. And I'm like, let me see it. And I get all this shit, and it's all hearsay background reports. I'm like, really? Get the fuck out of here.
I know. And clickbait is no game. Like, I don't want to call out no certain callers, but you got them Christians that just every 5 minutes are talking about, and we wouldn't be able to produce this channel if it wasn't for this money. But you just clickbaited me and told me that they had not just DNA. What they say? What did he say? Something about like not blood, but something about skin or something. And I was like, what? And I went to click it, and I'm like, oh, here we go. All right, never mind. God bless you too. Goodbye to you. It's just crazy. Like, I mean, I don't mind people saying that Kohberger's innocent if that's what they want to choose to think, but let's just get the evidence out so you can prove your side too. I mean, Kohberger may not want it out. I don't know why he wouldn't want it out in public, but those that think he's innocent, you should want it out in the public too, because I've watched so many trials from Johnny Depp all the way to like all of the trials. And what I can say about the juries do not play. They don't care. It's like we as Americans take that juryship to the highest rank. Like, we're not going to play with you and let you off if you're not to be off. And we're not going to play with you and have you be sentenced when you're not guilty. Like, I don't know where they think this is at, where they think we at. But like that one lady said, that one caller said, we're not stupid people. We don't just, like, you're not going to get a crazy person on the jury to just say, oh, he's guilty and he's and it's over. No, you're going to get a legitimate jury.
Ain't no doubt. But I appreciate you calling. I see 412 Pittsburgh in the building. Shout out. I got my Pittsburgh family. I got people. My great grandmother, my dad grew up in Pittsburgh. My dad's side's from Pittsburgh. Shout out to my Pittsburgh family. I appreciate you calling in. It's been 5:30. But shout out to you in Pittsburgh. Hopefully I hear from you again though, and I appreciate you sharing your.
Indeed, you will. I'm a steady watcher. I'm all in the Discord and everything. I just try to watch and look at everything as I'm going. Alea. Oh, it's High Pisces. High Pisces campaign.
Bet. Okay, there we go. I already know who you are then. Bet. I appreciate you.
All right.
God bless
all right.
you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to her. I know she's dealing with her kids. Shout out to Hype. I appreciate you. 219-885-9693. Let's keep it the Rep Gang way. Call in. Keep it classy. Let's go. I want to hear your thoughts, your opinions. Should they take the law or should they keep it? 95. What's going on? We ain't got a gun.
Me, brother. Your alter ego. That's me.
What's going on, Papa Ego? Nah, just playing. 5 minutes, 30 seconds. The floor is yours, Papa Sal. Let's hear from you, pal.
You got it. I don't really got much to say except leave the girls alone. First of all, I'm going by everything Steve said. Okay? He said that one of the girls were talking to him, maybe one of the girls were talking to somebody else. Why don't people fucking believe him? What's their shit?
Right.
It's coming from his mouth that one of the girls are talking to me, one of the girls are talking to somebody else. Come on. And I couldn't give two fucks about about the cameras in the court. I don't really want to look at the side of his face, the back of his head. I just want the gag order lifted so all this shit will stop. They did this. If there's a fucking bunch of shit going on right now with this case, it's because of these fucking people behind the scenes. They did it. Lift the fucking gag order. Lift it. Keep your fucking cameras. I don't give a shit if we see this guy or not. It just pisses me off. And the things that I could go off, but I'm really not, and I gotta calm myself. But that other people are saying,
right?
Just fucking, it gets my gut. And a lot of times, if I do tune them in, as soon as they say something that I don't fucking agree with or I don't like, boom, goodbye. I cut out. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear you, Lana. I don't want to hear you, Daniel. I don't want to fucking hear you, Harsh. I don't want to fucking hear you. I just...
Oh, my God!
And they're gone. Because I know it's fucking bullshit. Cut the shit. Everybody's got to cut the shit. Okay? Lift the fucking gag order and let's do this the right way. Keep your cameras. Stick your
You are
fucking
fake
cameras
news.
up your ass.
You are fake news.
Okay? But lift the gag order. We need to know. And about the knife sheet, I've said it before. They must have a mountain of fucking evidence against this prick that they're willing to let go of the sheet. As a matter of fact, they got a white Elantra full of evidence to get rid of the fucking sheet. Okay? It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And yeah, I've been following the trials too since OJ. Okay? From OJ up, I've been following the trial. And everybody but these people don't want it. What's the secret? What's the secret? What are you hiding? What the fuck?
Absolutely.
And it's scary because maybe they are hiding something that we don't know, and this prick walks. And if he walks, it's going to be because of people like us that are causing this fucking commotion and railroading this guy just because he's got bushy eyebrows and dark eyes.
Right.
No good. No fucking good, brother. No good. It's that we can't let that happen. And it ain't going to be us that lets it happen. It's going to be these fucks today that are going to say we're keeping the gag order in place. And that's going to fuck everything up. Lift it. And let me tell you something. I wish Steve Gonzalez is listening to this, because Steve, I admire you. I want to be a friend. I would love to take you to dinner. Take your whole family to dinner. I would love to take all the families together, but I want to sit next to Steve.
Absolutely, man. I know on my channel I stand with the victims and the victims' families. I stand with them 100%. They deserve justice. They deserve.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Steve, everything that guy says, I stand behind him. Everything.
Absolutely.
There's no reason for him to lie. There's no reason for him to cause shit.
Absolutely.
No. Yeah, buddy. All right. I know my time is up.
I appreciate you, Papa Sal. I appreciate you calling in, sharing
I love you.
I love you too, pal. I appreciate
about the rant.
it. I mean, we're all ranting, aren't we? I appreciate you calling in and sharing your thoughts as usual.
I love you, pal. You know.
I love you too, pal.
All right, pal.
Say New York.
New York. Here in New York, we we do what we gotta do. My pill bottle tops are popping off right now.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
All right, I love.
We don't like fucking rats.
I love you, Papa Sal.
We don't like rats.
All
right, brother. I love you. I love everybody.
We're gonna keep it rolling. I want to keep hearing hearing everybody's opinion, man. Everybody's voice matters, and we're gonna get a lot of calls in today. Love you, pal. If you have any other thoughts, let's hear from you again. God bless you, pal.
All right, I love you too.
Love you, pal. Later. Just shout out to Papa Sal. If you want to call in 219-885-9693, everybody's getting 5 minutes and 30 seconds a day. There's no extra minutes going on. There's no favoritism. We are back to the Rev Gang original way. Be a part of it. 908, you're never late. What's going on in your live? 5 minutes and 30 seconds. The floor is yours.
Hey, T. Chris from New Jersey. How are you, buddy?
I'm hanging in there, my brother. How about yourself?
Good. Love Papa Sal, man. Papa Paulie Walnut. You know. I do like one thing he said at a couple other streams. He said that with Kohberger, he said that he couldn't get up and say he was innocent and proclaim his innocence, and that means a lot. You know, to me, it means a lot because I see, like, you know, if I was charged with something and I was innocent of it, I'd be up. I don't care what your defense attorney says. I'd be up screaming for, you know, I'm innocent. I'm going to prove this in court and all that, you know. And with the other thing you had with the cameras in the courtroom, yeah, why block them? You know what I mean? Like, you know how I feel about the gag order should be lifted and all that, but the what you call it with cameras in the courtroom. What's the difference? You already got the jurors. They're sequestered, right? You got your alternates and all that. So what's the difference? You know, some transparency. You know,
right?
And my biggest, I'm not going to keep you too long today, T. But I wanted to tell you too. My biggest problem is Ann Taylor. When you say you get convicted of and you're on death row, right? Where did it go to with the last appeals, the Supreme Court, right?
Absolutely.
And what's the first thing he's going to say? Oh, she represented 3 of the families, and she, you know, they might reverse the whole thing and put this family through hell 10 years from now. We don't know, you know. So I think someone should look that over and see if she's fully qualified to represent him and all that, but what happens down the road if you have a conviction with death penalty and he goes to Supreme Court and says, listen, your defense attorney, you know, help, you know, what you call it, you know, with the other families, the three other family members of the victims, you know. So I don't know. It's just it's a crazy case, and hopefully justice gets served, and that's about it for what I wanted to say today. But I'll let you. Yeah, I'll let you go. I'll let some other people call in. You know.
I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you calling in and sharing your thoughts and opinions as usual, my man. You said New Jersey, correct?
New Jersey, yeah.
Yeah, shout out to you. I know you. I've talked to you multiple times. I appreciate you calling in, sharing your thoughts as usual, and being a voice in the community, and just, you know, having the balls to call up and share what you think, man. Thank you. God bless you. Bless your family. Be safe. It's Friday. I hope you enjoy your day, and hopefully I hear from you again as usual.
Oh, good. Hey, you know what? Good luck with the Netflix stuff, and get yourself an agent. Get on that Cyrus Radio. It'll be perfect.
Yeah, that you know what? That sounds like a good idea. I might have to look into that. I need to hire me a damn manager, somebody that knows how to make decisions, because my ass is, you know.
Just don't get a lawyer that does everything. Your agent and lawyer. Get an agent and a lawyer separate so you can go through the contract.
Well, hopefully I'll find somebody to represent me. Maybe there might be someone in here right now that just, you know, is business savvy, and if they are, maybe reach out to me. Seriously.
Okay.
I got all types of stuff flying at me, and I don't want to make the wrong decision based off of, oh my God, you know what I mean? Because I I've been down that road before, and I've got screwed over, and I don't want to be down that road again.
No, you gotta get the right people, but you don't want one and all. You don't want one person to handle everything for you. You want an agent, and then your lawyer, which has no affiliation, goes over the contract, and you got good things coming, brother. You're gonna have your yacht with the T-REV on the back of the yacht, and you and your Mrs. T-REV, you guys are gonna be enjoying life, and Sosa's gonna be on the back,
Absolutely.
Jet ski, with a little doggy, what you call it, the life vest on. Be great, I wish the best for you, brother. You're a good guy. You talk well, with people, and like when I always call in, I always comment how really great you are. And this is my home here, this T-REV show. So I just enjoy it very much, and thank you for all you do, man. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for your kind words, and you have a beautiful soul, brother. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for being so nice to me.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. You're
very
a
respectful
great person, man.
Yeah. So thank you so much, and I'm gonna enjoy the rest of your show, and I look forward to listening to other people call in. It's been great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother. I hope you have a wonderful day.
You as well. Take
God
care,
bless
Steve.
you and your family. Lock your doors. Stay safe. You know the drill. Shout out to him. If you want to call in, it's 219-885-9693. Let's hear from you. Let's hear from you. We want to hear from you.
Oh my God.
719, never left behind. You got 5 minutes and 30 seconds. What's your thoughts on this gag order? Do you think that they're going to lift it today or not? What's your thoughts there?
I don't think they'll lift it today, but I wish they would. Okay. And I was going to tell Papa Movie Star he's used every cuss word I was going to use, so that's out. Hey, and another thing I was going to talk to you about is I keep thinking about this because I listen to some of the friends, that's talked on another channel, of these kids. And, just like they said, they can't figure out why all these kids got off in within an hour. They wasn't looked at real well at all, and, before the day was over, they were cleared. And then the other thing, too, is that these kids called in at 11:30, or they're adults, but, people call them kids. They called in at 11:30 to report it to 911. But people were over there at that house at 8:30 in the morning.
Right.
Going through that house, And so
now where'd that come from? Where's that
you know what?
Where's
it was the first day. It was the first day, and I'm gonna go backtrack to a news in that state. Mm-hmm. But it was right on there, and then they were even talking about it when Brian Ewan, or whatever his name is, was standing outside, that they were up there at night taking samples, and said they had to really dig into it because there were so many people that had been in there that morning, starting at 8:30, and that they didn't, they didn't know it at the time, but that it had contaminated a lot of stuff. So they said that's why they were having a hard time taking a lot of the samples. They were going to have to, what I want to say, sort it out. So there's a lot more to this. And then when I look at other, like a news channel went and talked to one of the boys that was a president of one of them Greek houses, and he, he even said, we don't want to talk about it because, we don't want to be involved. Mm-hmm. In this, and the president of the school didn't want to be involved either. So he was trying to hurry it up along and get somebody. That's how I felt, was to find somebody fast because the next quarter was getting ready to start in January, I think it was.
But so, just for 1 second, where can we reference this 8 o'clock at 9 o'clock stuff?
I'll find it and I'll email it to you.
Okay, yeah,
because it was the first day, the very first day that this happened, and it was about I heard it about 3 or 4 in the afternoon. So yeah, I will. I'll reference. I'll get that, and then I'll email you and tell you where you go and what time, and what channel it was on and everything. Because and then I look at this way, the Inquirer or whatever their newspaper was. Remember, I kept saying that this guy is gonna, or whoever it is, gonna be found by November 29th.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy was found November 28th or 29th.
Right.
It just looks weird to me. And then a gag order, and then people blame everybody, that's on these podcasts. I don't understand that at all. We just wonder. We just try figuring things out. And then you look at Kylie Rodney. Well, look at who, people say that this guy did it, right? This guy on Idaho 4, he did it. He done it. I see it. He has no soul. They were doing that to her boyfriend. He didn't have a damn thing to do with it, or ex-boyfriend. So, we kind of jump to conclusions, I think, and we want to damn somebody. But what if it was one of our kids or somebody that we knew, you know what I mean? It's kind of pretty bad, how people just they've got him already hung, you know what I mean? Just that's probably why they have a gag order, so nobody can get in that damn jail and kill him. What if they got the wrong guy to kill, And I think only in the court system they'll figure that out. They'll have that all figured out,
Right.
So anyway, that's what I wanted to call in and say. And one last thing, I do watch another channel that has a Turtle Island. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, I
that
already know.
one,
I know who you're talking about.
Okay, well, you're still in. You're still on his island, so we're still keeping you in that one too.
Well,
So
shout out to Dolly. I know you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't like to say names, but we keep you in there. I mean, we won't let them vote you out. Whoever calls in to vote you out, we call in and vote you in.
Well, I
All right.
appreciate that. I appreciate the love, man.
Hey,
Shout out to everybody
the
spreading love.
The last thing too is, how you always say, lock your doors, be safe, and all that.
Yes,
we
lock
got to
your damn
start
doors.
saying, lock your windows.
Oh yeah, lock your doors, your windows, your car doors, everything.
Yeah.
Lock it up.
Well, because I seen on 60 Minutes or something a couple days ago that last year, a lady, she opened her windows in the summertime on the second floor.
Mhm.
Somebody got in and knifed her. And she
that's
lived,
wild.
but she and like she said, I never leave my windows open, but it was so hot and musty that she opened her windows and it was like 2 or 3 in the morning and boom. So anyway,
Thank you so much for calling in
that's all
and
I
having
have.
a voice. I appreciate you having a voice in the community, and actually, like I tell everybody, having the balls to call in. I know that it could be
I love it.
nerve-wracking, but thank you so much for calling in.
Yeah. I just love it when I can't get in and Papa Sal got in before me. I was like, damn it.
God bless you,
shout
man.
out to him.
I hope you have a wonderful Friday. Thank you so much for being a part of the Rev Game family and just calling it and sharing your thoughts and opinions with us. It does matter. You do matter. Your opinion matters. And just lock your doors, your windows, and your car door
Yeah.
too.
Okay. All right. Have a good day. Thank you.
too,
God
man.
bless you.
God bless
Bye-bye.
you too. Shout out to her. If you want to call
Oh my God!
in, you know what to do. Wrong one. 319-885-9693. Get your calls in. 317. Sent from heaven. What's going on? Never too late. 5 minutes and 30 seconds. The floor is yours. What's on your mind? What do you think about this? Do you think they should release that gag order? Do you think that they should have cameras in the courtroom? What's your take on that?
First of all, what's going on, T-REV?
What's going on, my brother?
Not much, man. Well, I had a question. This is an honest question that I would like you to answer.
Okay, let's hear it.
If they do drop the gag order, what are we hoping to find out that won't hurt the case?
That is a very good question. I mean, we just want to see the facts surrounding the case, right? We want to see what what will be available to us. That's what we want to see. I mean, in general, so we can stop a lot of the speculation that's going on in the community. I think that's the reason that they should drop it. But at the same time, there may be other reasons that I don't see right now of why they're keeping it there. I know that, it's a very touchy subject. This gag order is. It is. It's a very touchy subject.
Right. And you know, everybody's got great points. You know what I mean? Love the family. But that's the one thing I've been wondering about. Like, okay, let's say they do lift the gag order.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have somebody out there, let's say somebody close to the investigation, and they start talking and they start leaking information. Well, then this guy may walk. And that's what scares me. Obviously, we all want information. Just human nature says we want to know. We want to know what's going on. We want to know details.
And before you finish that, one more thing. I paused your time too, just so I can get this out, because you asked me that, and I want to tell you another thing is the whole time the timeline is important. I mean, we see all these videos being put out there to where the kids knew about it at 8 a.m., 9 a.m. You know, they knew about it. We want to know the actual times that the kids really knew about it, and we want to know the exact timeline, so this misinformation that's being spread on a daily basis by these creators that take these things that the public send into them, and from these Joe Schmoes that say they live in Idaho and they're there and they're friends of this person and that person, and they're reaching out to these creators and telling them all this shit, and without really being vetted. That's why we want the gag order lifted, so we can put the misinformation to rest and stick to the facts. We want to stick to the facts, and that's just that. But proceed. Man, you got 3 minutes 59 seconds. I want to hear you. I want to hear what you got to say.
Yeah, man, I couldn't agree with you more on that timeline, man. Every time you mention that 8 hours, it's like, man, that's the one thing that just stumps me every time.
Same.
But I kind of wonder, man, maybe there's more to that. You know what I mean? Maybe it wasn't 8 hours. Maybe we're missing something that they're just not telling us. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because, a lot of it's hearsay. But yeah, that's one thing I do want to know is why did it take so long? You know what I mean?
Agreed.
How did they not hear anything? You know what I mean? Stuff like that. That stuff I do want to hear. And as far as the cameras, I mean, I want to see it, man. I hate secondhand information.
Agreed, man. Definitely agreed.
You know what I mean? I hate hearing things secondhand. I want to hear it for myself and come to my own conclusion on what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing. So, but that's all I had today, man.
Well, I appreciate you calling in and sharing your thoughts, asking me a question. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. God, you lock your doors, lock your windows, lock your socks. No, just playing. Lock your drawers, lock everything, man. Lock everything,
I hear you, brother.
God bless you, brother. I hope your family's doing well. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for sharing your voice and having a voice in the community. God bless you, brother.
Hey, man. Say hi to Sosa, man.
I appreciate you, and I will. He's right here sleeping behind me.
All right, brother.
All right, brother. Shout out to you. Shout out to him for calling, and I appreciate that. Yeah, stick to the facts. What do you mean? Stick to the facts, can't be here? What is that? What's that supposed to mean? $757 sent from heaven. Donna is on the line. What is going on, Donna? You got 5 minutes and 30 seconds. What's on your mind? What's your thoughts? I know you're calling, and I know you got something on your mind. Speak it.
Well, how you doing?
I'm hanging in there. No.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling fine right now. I'm feeling pretty good.
Good. Well, I've just been listening, and I was just thinking about this gag order. The little bit of research that I've done on the gag orders and how all that works for myself to understand it. Basically, I could see maybe loosening up some of the gag order, but I don't feel like it should be dropped because from my understanding and the things that I have read online, one of the reasons why they keep the gag order for so long, they say, is because a lot of people drop off listening and following the case. Like, we follow the case on a constant, so we know the ins and outs of the case. But, when these murders first happened in November, a lot of people were on the horn watching it and reading about it. But then, they just fall to the wayside. They no longer, they don't talk about it. They don't follow what's going on in the case. And from what I read, that's one of the things judges do and the reasons why they keep the gag order for so long is because they don't want a jury bias, especially in a trial that's like this.
Right.
So what happens is people in the community and in the surrounding areas that would be chosen as the jury pool, they start forgetting. Oh yeah, I remember that case happened in November, but they haven't been following the case, so they don't know the ins and outs, the evidence, the speculations, the rumors, and all that stuff. They don't hear any of that. So it opens up for a less biased jury pool to pull from when they go to get a jury for him. And yes, even though, this is horrific crime, as all of us, as here in this country, we are due a fair trial.
Absolutely.
Whether he did it, didn't do it, whatever you feel, you feel it. But he deserves a fair trial.
Absolutely.
By our Constitution. And I think by opening that gag order, I think holding that gag order the way this judge has done, it prevents the media frenzy from, because look at how we speculate so much crap. I mean, we speculate all kinds of stuff. Now, the media is bad, just as bad. A lot of them don't fact check. A lot of them just go by speculation and hearsay. And it'll taint people's minds. It'll taint their judgment. So, from my understanding, the judge is holding on to this gag order as long as possible to give an opportunity to have a better jury pool coming from that area to be able to go into this case with an open mind without a whole bunch of crap in their brains that they've been exposed to. Because if that's dropped, there could be so much misinformation put out there that the jury pool will not be, there will be a bias.
Right.
And nobody wants justice for these kids, like me, like us, like me and y'all. But the thing is we also don't want something to taint it and make it so that he gets a mistrial or, worse. So we have to be patient. I mean, I think loosening it some would be satisfying to some people. Maybe Steve, and his family could get some peace with a loosening of it, but I think by opening up completely is opening a whole new can of worms that really doesn't need to be open. I know it's stressful because we want to know. We're invested in this, but at the same time, the last thing I want to see happen is there's a tainted jury pool because of a bunch of crap that the media's putting out there. And we know the media does that.
But this happens with all these cases, though. I mean, I don't get the difference for Brian Christopher Kohberger. What's the difference with him within all these high-profile people that are even stars that are facing murder charges? For instance, Travis Rudolph. I mean,
I
what's
think
the difference?
each and every county, each and every state has their own set of rules. Big media, high society, celebrity kind of stuff. A lot of times that is press, and unfortunately for cases like this, we look at that and say, oh God, all these celebrity cases, O.J. Simpson and all this stuff, well, to be honest with you, they should never have let that be public, because he would be in jail right now.
No doubt.
That's just my opinion.
Well, I appreciate you sharing, Donna. It's been 5 minutes, 30 seconds. We're gonna keep the ball rolling, keep getting the opinions in here. No, you're fine. It just I got headphones on, so I can perfectly hear everybody that calls in, because I was having a problem hearing people. So I put my headphones on so I can hear every word. I want to be able to hear crystal clear and respond back instead of saying, "What did you say?" because it kind of takes up
Right,
time when I do
gotcha.
that. Thank you, Donna, for
Well,
calling in and sharing your opinion. If you think of anything else, you're more than welcome to call back, just as well as anybody in the stream right now. You're more than welcome to call back. There's no
send out
set
love
amount
to
of
the
time.
T-REV family, and love you, T.
Thank you. I love you too, Donna. Thank you so much. God bless you. Lock your doors and your windows. You already know what's up. 219-885-9693. There is 2 court hearings today for Brian Kohberger. Again, like I was just saying, there is 2 court hearings today. All right. So Idaho murder suspect Brian Kohberger's court today. Order hearing. Okay. There's 2 gag order hearings today. 12:30. All right. My time. 580. You're on the show. What's going on? You're live. 5 minutes 30 seconds. What's your thoughts? Let's hear from you.
Hey, T-REV, it's Okie Angel, a.k.a. Nancy.
Hey, what's up,
Hey.
Nancy?
Well, I just... Hey, Nancy in the house. So, hey, was just listening to some other things this morning, and then you came on and talking about this gag order. You know, Papa Sal hit a pretty good spot on that as far as letting too much information out, and it could taint a jury pool. But on the other hand, you also got to look at right now. I mean, the stories are running so rampant. Do you realize this? I mean, it's been said there's been 46,000 media cases on the story alone, which has exposed 2.1 billion individuals to the story. I mean, the public is interested in this case. It's so intense on this one particular case. It's such a high-profile case. We the people have questions, you know. Personally, I think the court should want to have a fair and valid explanation, but it has to be done the right way. So when Papa Sal said, you know, people get on here and already have him convicted and already saying he's done it, do I think they have the right guy? Yeah, I think the evidence is gonna show itself. You know, he talked about the car. He brings up the car a lot. Papa Sal does. You know, I heard they took the rubber off the gas pedal, the brake pedal, the handles. I mean, they tore that car apart. I think they're going to have their evidence that they need. But with all this crap from the media, NBC, Dateline, Fox News, you know, it's never any circus of bad facts. And that's only because they don't have any facts. They're not getting any because of the gag order. Should the gag order be totally lifted? No, absolutely not. Should they be able to give out a few facts, maybe just to squash some of the rumors? Yeah, I think that might help. But if they don't stop the mob mentality and everybody say, okay, he's guilty, and he just looks like it, and he's just a weirdo because he's got deep eyes and bushy eyebrows, you know, that doesn't make him a killer. There's a lot of people out there that look like that are not killers. So I can see kind of both sides of this whole thing. As far as the cameras in the courtroom, absolutely, I think they should have them. There's no reason not to have them. They don't have to put them don't put them on Brian. If people, you know, if that's the deal. Although I think he should stand up in court, I should think he should be able to face the people. If he's innocent, face your people. If you think you're so dang innocent, you know, and if the evidence shows that you're not, you need to be facing the people, facing that family. But the media needs the facts. They don't need to have no facts and be guessing at shit that they're throwing out there. And the people that pick up on any little thing they possibly can to throw it out there and make up stories, you know, that's where we're at. That's why the gag order is still there. What they don't realize is the gag order is why people are making up stories.
I mean, it's all over the place.
But if they don't have cameras in there, you're just going to have a bunch of reporters in there that's going to still put their spin on their reporting. You're going to have one person's interpretation instead of all of us watching together and forming our own opinion. You know?
Exactly.
The judges watch the trial and the media. We've seen that in other cases. They know what's going on in the media. They know what's going on. Jury's definitely not going to. When you take that oath, that's not something that you do. And ultimately, it doesn't really matter what's going on right now. Once they pull that jury, they've got to take that oath seriously or not. You're not going to tell me they're going to find a jury anywhere down there that don't know about this case.
Richard, respectfully, we don't give a fuck who's live right now.
I'm sorry?
I was talking to the chat. I said respectfully, we don't give a shit who's live right now. Anybody who's in here, they know the rules of the chat. We don't care about who's live. We're live over here. I don't care if who's live. We're live on my shit right now.
Yeah.
People come in and be like, "Oh, well, this person's live right now." We don't care about that. Go if you want to go to their live, run over there.
Go over there if you want to watch them. Go there and watch them.
Don't come to my chat and promote other people's lives. That's just disrespectful to me.
It is. It is disrespectful.
That's how I feel about it.
Well, all I got to say is that I think that I think the gag order is a good thing, because I think if they get too much information out there, then he can ultimately walk.
Thank you.
But I do think that I think the public has the right to be able to watch the trial. I think we need all the information out there, because that's what our system is designed to do, is to give everybody a fair trial. And to me, if they're trying to hide it, that automatically sends up red flags for me. What are you hiding?
Right.
Is it really going to be fair? So, I don't know if anybody, like I said, down in that area that's not heard of this, or anybody. Gosh, this thing has gone global. So you're not going to find a whole lot of people that's not heard about this case to begin with. So, I don't know. I think the cameras should be a go for sure. The gag order, no, maybe a little release, or maybe a little adjustment to it, possibly, but I don't think that this judge is going to do it. I think when he first talked at that last hearing that he was in, you kind of could get the feeling where he was going with that when he kind of snapped at the media guy.
Ain't no doubt.
So I think he's I don't think he's gonna give in to the media for some reason. I just don't feel that in me.
I appreciate you calling up and sharing your thoughts, Nancy Grace. I do appreciate it. Thank you, Ogie. I appreciate you. God bless you. Lock your doors, and hopefully I hear from you again. And I appreciate you having a voice in the community, and everybody in chat does too.
You betcha. I'll be listening.
Thank you. Shout out to her. Shout out to her. We don't give a fuck who's live. I'm gonna leave it just like that. 219-885-9693. Why do people go to other people's lives to promote who's live? I'll never understand that. I'll never get that. But hey, you realize people do that shit. That shit's weird to me. Why come over to somebody else's live and say, well, make sure you go over here, do that, they're live. Like, nobody, who cares? Nobody wants to go over and listen to people talk about created suspects and neighbors and this, that, and the third. We don't give a shit about none of that. And if you do, get the fuck out of here. That's how I feel. Oh my God. We'll leave it just like that. But yeah, 219-885-9693, 5 minutes and 30 seconds that you get. And I do have the live Q&A Idaho student murders Brian Kohberger gag order hearing. It is scheduled to come on in 33 minutes. I could take a couple more phone calls, and then we'll pull that up and listen to it. We'll pull that up and have it full screen over here and check it out. I definitely want to see what is being said in these courtrooms. I want to hear it. All right, here we go. What I see, 1150. If court of public opinion was all that mattered, Jack S. would have been jailed November. Love you. Don't murder innocent, beautiful kids and hurt when nobody likes you. Saddest fan club. BK dwindling. Not. Hold on. Let's check this out. Hopefully they don't smoke me for playing this. They might. We'll find out right now. Right? We're about to find out right now. 604, you're in the door. What's going on? You're live.
Hey, Trev, it's Ms. 604.
Hey, how's it going? You're live. You got 5 minutes, 30 seconds. What's your thoughts? What's your opinions? What do you think
Thanks.
about?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. You know how
good.
it is.
It's a good chat. Good chat today. Lots of great calls.
Yeah, see, it's definitely been beautiful calls.
So I was just thinking, Hollis mentioned it too, and it's something I've been thinking about for a long while. What if those roommates didn't wake up till around 11 or 11:30? Because, I mean, that's what you do at that age when you party. You party late and you wake up late.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Uh-huh.
Because can anyone really say that they believe that they would wake up at 8:30 or 9, see people stabbed to death, their friends, their roommates, and sit around and discuss it or hide stuff? That makes like zero sense. I mean, it's just not common sense at all, right?
Agree.
I don't know. So just my thought. And again, it's something that we don't know because of the gag order, right? So we don't know. I mean, all this, they woke up at 8:30 or they were called at not. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not buying it from Kim or anybody else. So that was my thought on that. And as far as the gag order, like, of course I want it lifted because I'm nosy and I want to know everything.
Right.
But at the same time, I worry, if it's lifted, will it hurt the trial? Will it give him a chance for a mistrial? And that makes me nervous because I'm on the side of they've got the right guy. So that's where I lie. So I just want to see the trial go. I believe they must have a ton of evidence against them. You don't just arrest somebody for 4 slaughters with a little bit of evidence. Like, they must have a mountain of stuff. You know?
I think they do. I mean, 51 terabytes tells me they got some video evidence or something. They have. I mean, that's just me speculating, but I mean, 51 terabytes and.
No, I agree with you.
That's crazy.
I mean, if Haley's sister said she saw on the ring cam that the girls got home, then if that ring cam was running at those hours of, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, then they've got that too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just a whole bunch of stuff they're going to have, and that's why I don't know why people are so quick to, he didn't do it. I don't know. Anyway, you pretty much know where I stand on all the conspiracy shit, so.
Yeah, the conspiracies are out of out of hand, but.
So, yeah, I mean, beyond out of hand. But anyways, that was my 2 thoughts about what time the kids woke up and about the gag order and whatnot. So, obviously, love your show. It's the best show out there. It's the most honest, the most factual, and a really good group of people. So, love the RevGan family, too.
Thank you so much for the kind words. I appreciate you. Thank you for having a voice in the community. Lock your doors, stay safe, and hopefully I'll hear from you again.
You know it. I will. You stay safe and love to Sosa.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Trev.
Thank you. Bye. Shout out to her. God bless her. Shout out to her.
Oh, my God.
Let's check this out.
Xana Kernodle and Ethan Chapin, just here at the Law and Crime Network. Guys, thanks for being with us today. We have some great questions coming in from our viewers, and we want you to keep those coming. Submit them to us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, and we'll get to as many of them as we can as we move the show forward. But I want to start out with.
I want to hear what they're. Well, I want to hear what they're talking about. Investigators say survivor roommate saw what? University of Idaho murder suspect Brian Kohberger appears in court today.
This whole case
This is a
hasn't been
Q&A.
used. So why did they say he allegedly did it? What was his motive? What are they hiding? So there are 3 questions there, Joseph. What do you say to that question from Long Beach Mamba?
Well, Long Beach Mamba, thank you for trusting me with all of this information. That's a lot to unpack in a very short period of time. I'll try. First off, there is apparently biological connectivity between Brian Kohberger and that scene, or at least some of the evidence that they have collected from that scene. And so I think that just from a forensic standpoint is probably the most compelling thing that they have. And we don't know how much of that evidence there is at this point in time. Of course, we've seen videography of them unpacking
This is live right now, by the way.
And hauling a lot of that stuff away, but also his apartment. And let's don't forget the infamous car is out there as well. And so they have possession of all of this stuff. So it sounds like from a physical evidence standpoint, I think.
So while we're waiting, I will keep this right here. I'm waiting for them to pull up and start talk about what happened in court. If you want to call in, it is 219-885-9693. Shout out to everybody that's here right now. Give yourself a round of applause. Thank you for being here. 219-885-9693. I still want to hear from you. I still want to hear from you. We're waiting on the results from the court. I don't know if they're going to have camera footage, but if they do, we will have it here. I will have it on the page. We'll get down to that. So let's hear from you. 5 minutes, 30 seconds for everybody who calls in. 870, what's going on? You're live.
Hey, T-REV, it's Regina.
What's going on, Regina? 5 minutes, 30 seconds. The floor is yours. Talk to these people. Preach.
Okay, first of all, let me explain something to everybody. This is a court of public opinion. This is not the first time someone has gone on trial and the public has outraged on this person and talked crap about a person and hurt a person's feelings. However, there are different factors playing into this, such as A, we have our constitutional right to officially record our civil servants in the official course of their servitude, and whenever they're on the clock, they're on our dollar. So if they ban cameras from this court, there will be multiple lawsuits filed against the state, because it is it'll go all the way to the Supreme Court because it is in violation of our constitutional rights. Second of all, I got some information about Bethany Funk, and I think people need to ease up on her a little bit. She doesn't come from, and I'm not talking bad about her, it's not about that, but she comes from a background in which hearing people arguing at night and loud noises was normalized to her, and I think she thought it might have been a domestic spat. This information I found last night on another YouTube stream. You know the guy, JRL, T-REV, you know. Mm-hmm. He dug up files on Dylan, not Bethany, but he dug up files on Dylan Mortensen's dad. And let's just say that there are accusations of abuse and things from her father towards her ex-stepmom, Patricia.
Right.
So I think all this, why did Dylan Mortensen not call the cops? Why did she not call the cops? We don't know what that girl was thinking. Just please, you guys, leave that alone. It will come out in court. But we have the right to see these proceedings in their official capacity and record them. Whether or not it is allowed to be live streamed is not, if we can't live stream it, it's not going to violate our constitutional rights. As long as it's able to be recorded, like with the last court hearing they had. But if they do not allow cameras in the courtroom, they are denying all of us our constitutional rights. Mm-hmm. And it's not going to be in violation of Kohberger's constitutional rights, because he has the right to a speedy and public trial.
Right.
He has the right to a speedy and public being the key word here, because he's already waived his right for a speedy trial, and now they've set the scope of the trial, like 2 weeks outside of the speedy trial scope?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So he's already given up part of his constitutional rights. I'm sorry, but he's butthurt because the little fanboy isn't getting all the positive attention he wants after doing this. I'm sorry. I mean, what are the chances they have the wrong guy? Legitimately, you guys, what are the chances they have the wrong guy? And yeah, I know the knife sheath DNA is probably not going to be used during the trial, because here's the thing. Whenever it comes to physical, tangible evidence in a court case, the defense and the prosecution both have to have access to that evidence for testing. They both have the right to test that evidence. And I think that Hollis made a very good point about this. Shout out to Rev Gang. There's simply not enough touch DNA on the knife sheath to be tested by the defense, and that would be an infringement on Kohberger's right to allow the knife sheath DNA to come out in the trial whenever the defense can't test it themselves, because he has that right. Second of all, that doesn't mean that the knife sheath isn't going to come into play at all during the trial. That just means that the touch DNA on the sheath is probably not going to come into play. Now, if they can find a serial number, or if they can find the person that sold the knife sheath, that can be allowed into trial as testimony, because then the defense will have both the opportunity, the defense and the prosecution both will have the opportunity to cross-examine the witness. But it's going to take some other identifier other than just the knife sheath DNA to identify that knife sheath. That's going to be, it's not fruit from the poisonous tree. There's another one, I can't think of it right now. I had a crazy day yesterday, y'all. My friends got their front door kicked in by two men in masks, and they got robbed for less than an ounce of medical marijuana, guns on them and their kids. A blind man and his pregnant wife, okay?
Mm-hmm.
This world's crazy.
Time's up, but what were you saying? I know it's quick. 5 minutes and 30 seconds comes by fast as shit.
Yeah. But it is not against Brian Kohberger's constitutional right to allow the cameras in the court. And it's going to be a bigger fight in the end if they don't allow the cameras in the court. Mm-hmm. And also, sorry, I haven't been up but maybe 30 minutes and I haven't had any coffee. But the facts are that everything that the defense team is doing right now, in my personal opinion, of everything I know from studying law, they are setting up now for future appeals, because I think the defense knows damn good and well that Kohberger is going to be convicted, and their only hope for anything for him at this point is appeals later on.
Wow. Well, I appreciate you calling up and breaking that down for everybody, Regina. God bless you. And if you get through again, call back. Get another 5 minutes.
I sure will. I love you guys. Shout out to you, T-REV. Thank you for keeping it real. Thanks for not feeding into all the conspiracies and stuff, and thank you for making it about these kids, because y'all, at the end of the day, it don't matter about nobody else's hurt feelings. 4 beautiful, innocent people lost their lives, and that's what matters.
Absolutely. And you said it well, Regina. God bless you. Lock your doors, and I love you. Thank you so much.
God bless you, T-REV. Bye, everybody. Love you guys. Blessings.
Shout out to Regina. 219-885-9693. 5 minutes and 30 seconds for everybody today. Get your opinions out. Should they lift the gag order? Should they allow the cameras in there? There is 2 hearings today. They are having those now. I know that Steve Gonsalves, the Gonsalves family, will be on their Zoom. So will his lawyer. Will be on Zoom. It is a possible chance that the gag order does get lifted. There's a possible chance that it doesn't. Now it's out there, So I mean, what is your thoughts? What is your opinions? I want to hear from you. Sheath is not bull. I heard Amazon DNA speaks. Lori Vallow, yeah, shake my head. Excuse me, Lori Vallow, yeah, shake my head. DNA, in which I'm confident they have a lot of, will speak. Excuse me. Speak volumes, hands down, in my opinion, says Just Debbie. The number is at the top of the screen, guys. If you want to call in, again, that says 219-885-9693. Make sure you call in. Your opinion matters. 5 minutes and 30 seconds. You get floor time. That is your time. So make sure, if you have an opinion or some thoughts that you want to share with everybody in here, make sure you call up and look. We want to hear from you. But until then, let's go back to Hold on, let's pull it up real quick. Let me pause that. Since nobody, let's see. Let's go to here. Let's go to that. Let's hear what's going on over here.
They've been more vocal, at least in the early part of this investigation. So I think the gag order even applies down the line to the family who are, potential witnesses in this case.
Mm-hmm. And that's the family of Kaylee Gonsalves. Her father, Steve Gonsalves, and mother, Christy.
Ever knew beforehand. So, and that's all speculation. So I think that at this point in time, there's only reason to believe that he is the only suspect. I think that if they've moved along in this case so far now into the court proceedings, that if there was another suspect, they would have had to alert the defense to it. They would have
closely.
had to, probably made a public statement about that, because you're talking about dangerous and violent criminals out in the community. And I would hope that they would make the public aware of that.
Exactly. What have I said on this channel?
To be involved in
I ain't
this,
even an
if
expert.
they believed somebody else was involved, that could possibly help Brian Kohberger's defense, because they could say, this wasn't our guy, it was that other guy. And I know there's a lot of stuff that's gone on social media, a lot of discussion and speculation, but we are just going to bring you the facts as we know them right now, and the allegations. Brian Kohberger, of course, presumed innocent until proven guilty. And they say he did it, the state does, but at this point, he says he's not guilty and he's going to trial. We are going to continue to take your questions, but first we need to take a quick break. So keep them coming to us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube,
Lines are
TikTok.
open.
We've got you covered everywhere. So we'll be right back. Stay with us. I'm Anjanette Levy, and you are watching the Q&A Lunch Show on Law and Crime.
The lines are open for everybody right now. 219-885-9693. 219. You are live. What's going on?
Hey, sweetie, how you doing today?
I'm hanging in there. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I just wanted to say that myself, I think they should have cameras in the courtroom. I agree with a lot of the callers. And I just ran up a flight of stairs. Whew, I'm out of breath. I live out here in Indiana, so I'm pretty close to you.
Yes, ma'am.
I love your show. I think you're great. And that's all I wanted to say. I think they should have cameras in the courtroom. Because there's a lot of people out there, even though the truth is right there in front of them, they're still going to say, well, that's not what happened. There's so many people in this world that, all these school shootings, they're saying false flag operations, but the truth could be in front of people and they're still not going to believe it. So I think they should open up, be transparent, and let everybody see what's going on in the court system, okay? What the evidence is going to be the evidence. I mean, hopefully everything they're presenting is the truth. That's the only thing we can hope for. And hopefully he gets convicted the right way. Myself, I do think he did it. I really do. And he did it by himself. I don't think anybody else was involved. And I think they have some more stuff that they're not letting us know because, they don't want that to get out. So that's just my opinion. And I think you're just a sweetie pie. And I love your show. You keep doing what you're doing. And that's why you're going to be famous one day. I hear a lot of people saying that. And that's it. You just have a great day, okay?
Well, thank you. I appreciate you, man. And I appreciate the kind words. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you being here and sharing your thoughts and having the audacity to call up and have a voice in the community. God bless you. Lock your doors, your windows, your car doors.
Yes.
And stay.
Well, you know what? I'm here by myself, but I have a pit bull and I have a German Shepherd. And my husband's got a lot of shotguns in there. He's a big hunter and fisher. And so I have nothing to worry about. They walk in here, they're going to be in a world of hurt. That's all I have.
Well, you stay safe, okay, ma'am? Thank you for...
You too. You keep doing what you're doing, and I'll keep watching. You have a great day.
You too. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
God bless you and your family. Shout out to her. We appreciate you. 219-885-9693. Everybody's getting that 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Make sure you call up. I see nothing updated so far on Brian Kohberger or anything that I've as far as pertaining court. I'm sure they're not. I don't even think they're in court yet, and that's what we're all waiting for. We're waiting to hear if they lift these gag orders or the gag order. So I mean, hopefully they do. 832, what's going on? You're live.
Yo, this is T-REV.
Yes, sir.
Yo, it's Sonny from the H, man. Yeah, like, did they do the trial yet for like the motion for the gag order?
They're doing that today. There's two hearings for the gag order today.
Has it started?
Nah, not yet. Not that I know of.
You know, it's crazy to me that the defense wants to put a gag order on this entire situation. And I genuinely think it's because this Brian Kohberger dude is just flat out embarrassed of himself.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like, I know they're saying, like, we want to protect the victims, but the damage has been done to the victims. What kind of protection could you do, you know? Like,
no doubt.
Like, it would honestly, like, probably help them move on with their lives, live streaming it so they can gather all the information so there's the unknown isn't there, you know?
Oh, yeah.
For example, like, I don't know if you know that case about Travis Rudolph. He got acquitted for murder.
For sure.
And, yeah, like, that case was fucked up. I think he acted in self-defense, but, I mean, I don't think he acted in self-defense, but, like, if you watch the trial, the testimony from the 4 guys who went to go jump him that was sent by his girlfriend, like, dude, they were just lying in court. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, most people would be like, nah, how'd he get not guilty? How'd he get not guilty? If they just heard the verdict, like, but they watched the video of the gunshots, you know?
Right.
Of the 39 shots. But if you watch the trial, you damn near hear the judge telling one of the kids, look, man, you're being invasive. You need to, like, you need to get this shit together type shit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a yes or no. Like, they lucky that the prosecutors gave them immunity to testify, or else they would be prosecuted, you know?
No doubt about that. That case, I mean, that case was broad for an audience to watch. That's why I said, what's the difference in having cameras here for everybody else to watch? I mean, you don't think I seen people saying they thought Travis was guilty and not. You know, I seen both. I seen a little bit of both on that. So it's like, what's the difference with Brian Kohberger? What's the difference? Why no cameras? Why no? You know, why is the gag order so tight? What's, you know, it's wild. And the same thing is going on in the Delphi case also. Well, we lost him. I can't hear anything he's saying, but shout out to him. I appreciate you calling in. Tell me from the age. Make sure you call in 219-885-9693. We want to hear from you. We want to hear from you. Let's see. I'm checking for all updates to see what's going on here. Let's see. So right here, we'll take your question. I see there's more documents here. 631, what's going on? You're live.
Hey, what's up, T-REV? How you doing, my guy?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I can't complain. How's the pup?
He's doing well. So, what's your thoughts on all this?
I definitely think they should lift the gag order. But I don't necessarily think that the defense wants it to continue because of they're trying to preserve a fair trial. Because if anything, I feel like the most damning stuff I've heard so far has come from like Dateline and sources that aren't legitimate law enforcement sources. So I wonder if they're trying to do that so they could paint any potential jurors ahead of time.
Right.
And then that could potentially, I mean, I don't really know what the grounds for a mistrial are, but the case has such, worldwide and widespread, like, attention at this point. So I feel like as they keep floating all this stuff, it's going to be very difficult to find anybody who's entirely impartial unless they live under a rock.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know why the defense would want the gag order to stay, because at the end of the day, it's going to be the fact that the case is going to be tried upon. They're going to have to decide on all the legitimate stuff. And right now, there's so much misinformation out there. I just feel like it's not doing any favors. So I wonder if that's part of their strategy. I wonder if it's all part of their strategy,
No doubt. Modify. They might modify it. Who knows?
I mean, I understand if they're doing it to maybe protect the victims, that's a different story. But if this is something the defense is pushing for, I'd have to think that there's maybe an ulterior motive.
Right.
But that's pretty much it. That's just my thoughts on it. So I just wanted to share. But I'll let you get to your next call.
Well, I appreciate you. It's about to start in the next 10 minutes, so I'm gonna put this on and we're gonna listen to it.
All right, that's what's up. Let's see what happens.
No doubt. Thank you for calling in. I appreciate you sharing your thoughts and opinions. Thank you for being a voice in the community. God bless you. Lock your doors, and I appreciate you rocking.
God bless. Appreciate you too, bro. Take care.
No doubt. Shout out to her. Let's get to listen to this. Let's not miss out on the goods. We do not want to miss out on the goods. That's what we're here for right now. We do not want to miss out on the goods.
Dark Song asked, do you think that Brian Kohberger, when entering his plea, he stood silent? He didn't say not guilty. He said, that we're going to stand silent. That's what his lawyer said. And then the judge entered a not guilty plea on his behalf. Do you think that he stood silent because he's anticipating a plea deal? What are your thoughts, Bobby, on him standing silent?
He did that most likely on the advice of his counsel. Hopefully he's listening to his lawyer. He should. And plea deals can be made no matter what somebody says on the record in an earlier hearing or things like that. So I don't put too much into it. That wouldn't affect his ability to get a plea later on. They wouldn't hold that against him if he said he wasn't guilty. I mean, there was some reporting that he sent word through his lawyer or through a representative that he looked forward to be exonerated. So he clearly has pled not guilty. He clearly is heading towards a courtroom trial during which his lawyers will expound on his innocence and certainly is not guilty in this case. But again, a plea deal can come at any time, right up until jury selection. So and very little in the lead up will affect that plea deal. And so I don't think him standing silent is very impactful.
Mm-hmm. It's basically the same thing as entering a not guilty plea. It's just obviously a choice they decided to make. Our next question is from your Clarkness from TikTok. Michael Bryan, I'll send this one to you. If the argument for no cameras is the fragility of witnesses, could they just not show their faces? I think that's a good point. What do you think, Michael?
Yeah, and it's a matter of degree, and we've seen all kinds here at the network, from just audio to just their bodies not showing their faces. We've seen it all, and obviously we're spoiled and we're greedy. We want to see the whole package because you learn so much more seeing the nonverbal. But yeah, that could be done, and it's done all the time when minors are involved, and so certainly it could be done, but it's not.
Right now I got this pulled up because allegedly we're gonna get the info here, so that's what we're here for. We're here to get the information that is going to be put out about Brian Christopher Kohberger, the gag order. There's 2 hearings, and they're about to go down.
They really need to have their visual identity masks. Great, let's do it, but not as a matter of course. I just don't think it's the way to do it. Let it all hang out as if we're in the courtroom.
I think you make a good point there. And I will tell you, Michael and Bobby and Joseph and everybody, that when we were planning for that trial, we were in a meeting and I asked that question, could you please allow us to live stream the audio at least? And they said no, because they didn't want sidebars to be overheard by the public. But there are many ways to address that concern. They can just mute the mics during the sidebars. If you want to transcribe those, just let the court reporter hear what's going on. We cover this stuff all the time. We know how to do this. All right, we know how to do it responsibly. We are going to take a quick break. Stay with us. If you're watching on YouTube, please stay with us because we just have to take a quick break for the network. We will be right back. Keep the questions coming on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. We'll get to as many of them as we can. I'm Anjanette Levy, and you're watching Law and Crime.
So, while we're waiting for that, I'm waiting for this to come through. Thank you, Angel Girls. I appreciate you. I think a certain extent they're going to lift. I do not understand why they want to keep things quiet, but at the same time, I would like more information. Does that sound crazy? No, it does absolutely not sound crazy. And while we're waiting for that, let me pull up these new documents that I just got here. Let me go to my downloads. We got some new documents here. I want to pull these up on the screen while we are waiting. Let's see what this is about. Motion to temporarily seal Exhibits A and B of the state's supplemental response to defendant's first, second, and third supplemental request for discovery. The state of Idaho, let me read this here. Let me pull it full screen for you guys. New documents that just came out. The state of Idaho, make it big enough. The state of Idaho, let me move this off the screen too. The state of Idaho, through the Latah County prosecuting attorney, respectfully moves the court pursuant to Idaho Court Administrative Rule 32G1 and Idaho Code 74-124 for a temporary order sealing Exhibits A and B attached to the state's supplemental response to defendant's first, second, and third supplemental request for discovery hearing, because release for disclosure would interfere with enforcement proceedings, deprive a person of a right to a fair trial or an impartial adjudicate, whatever that word is. Sometimes, I just stutter over here. I stutter at Stanley. Motion to temporarily seal Exhibits A and B of the state's supplemental response to defendant's first, second, and third supplemental request for discovery. Again, they said that again. We already seen that. Now let's go down. 2, constitute an unwarranted invasion of personal privacy is number 2. Disclose the identity of confidential source and or 3. So 4, disclose investigative techniques and procedures. The state seeks this protection pending a hearing on the matter. Wherefore, the state respectfully prays that court seal from public disclosure Exhibits A and B attached to the state's supplemental response to defendant's first, second, and third supplemental request for discovery hearing under the provisions of Idaho Court Administrative Rule 32G1 and Idaho Code 74124. Respectfully submitted this 8th day of June 2020. Okay, so this was yesterday. I get it there. Motion to temporary. Let's go down. Certificate of delivery. I hereby certify that true and correct copies of the motion to temporary seal Exhibits A and B of the state supplemental response to defendant's first, second, and third supplemental request for discovery was served on the following in the manner indicated below. Ann Taylor, attorney at law, e-filed and served, emailed, P.O. Box 9000, Coeur d'Alene? Is that how you say it? ID 838169000. Dated 8th of June 2023. So there's that. Again, that was the motion to temporarily seal Exhibits A and B of the state supplemental response to defendant's first, second, and third supplemental request for discovery. So that's what that was. I have that. I have all the court documents. If you guys want them, I couldn't put them up, or you can get a link to it and download them and look over the documents yourself. For those who are interested in that, let me know. I can post them up on the members page, and you guys can download that, or I can just post them in chat for everybody to download. I don't care. Either or, if you do want to. Now that's that. What we are right now, we are waiting to hear about what's going on in this case. Let's see. It looks like they're back from break.
Welcome back. I'm Anjanette Levy, and we are taking your questions about the trial and the case of Brian Kohberger, the Washington State University PhD student accused of murdering 4 University of Idaho students last November in Moscow, Idaho. It's a case that has captured the attention of people around the world. Quite literally, it's discussed on social media constantly, and many news stories are published about it. It feels like daily and sometimes weekly. So we are taking your questions, as I mentioned. Keep them coming to us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. We will get to as many of them as we can. We have a great panel here to discuss this with you as we await footage from a hearing that is starting right about now in the case, and it's regarding.
So you hear, it's starting now. So we're waiting on the results.
Family members of the victims from talking publicly about the case to news media and others, although we have seen them speak and say a couple of things here and there despite the gag order. So they want that tossed out, as we do too. There is a media hearing on this issue and cameras in the courtroom later in the day, and we will of course bring that to you later on our YouTube channel. But first, let's get back to your questions. We have a great panel here. Bobby Chacon, a retired FBI agent and lawyer. Joseph Scott Morgan is a forensic death investigator and host of the Body Bags podcast. And Michael Bryant is a lawyer and host here at Law and Crime. So let's get to our next set of questions. No live streaming allowed in Idaho or court-by-court basis. This is from Toby Walker. So Bobby Chacon, talk to us a little bit about that, how it works. Does it go court by court, state by state? How does this work?
Well, each state sets its own rules, and then it goes down to, you know, the counties and the chief judges in those districts, those judicial districts. But in Idaho, from my understanding, is it actually goes all the way down to the trial judge, and the trial judge can restrict or expand the coverage of the cameras in the courtroom as they see fit. And so, you know,
while we're waiting, because the court hearing should be starting now, I do want to watch this new video that just dropped. It's Kaylee Gonsalves' dad believes Kohberger motivated by jealousy. Now let's check this video out. Thank you, Protected, for letting me know that this video just came out. We are checking it out. We're staying. If you're here to hear about the court updates, we are here for that. It will be talked about. They will be talking about that on the channel we were just watching. We're just waiting for that to go forward. They're just talking about certain things right now. Let's hear about Steve Gonsalves, because this video had just came out. We want to check it out.
Was on the families of the victims, lives which have been shattered, hearts that have been broken. It is way beyond tragic. Tonight, in a Court TV exclusive, Chanley Painter rides along with Kaylee's father as he pays tribute to his daughter on her birthday.
You go from, okay, they just told us that our babies, 2 of our babies are gone. At that moment, you feel so lost that you're like, okay, I have a million questions, but there's nobody to call. There's no pamphlet to read.
Then Chanley speaks in depth about the immense impact all of this has had on the family and how they are dealing with it.
You know, you replace the negative with the positive, and I've got lots of positives. I've gotten 2 grandbabies since this whole thing went down, and we're focusing on those girls, and you know, we've got work to do in the future, but just one day at a time.
Tonight, we are live from Moscow, Idaho, as the families prepare for tomorrow's court hearing in the Idaho students' murder case.
I'm Vinny Politan. Thank you so much for joining us tonight here on Closing Arguments. This hour is going to be important. It's going to be important. We cover murder trials a lot here at Court TV, a lot. And sometimes what gets lost in everything that happens is what's really happening. The loss. And in the case of what happened in Idaho, I mean, it's unspeakable. It's really unspeakable on many different levels. But to me, it always comes back to these young people, this group of young people. I look at them, it's like you're looking at the cast of Friends or something, right? That, you know, they're doing things together, they're young, they're full of energy, they're full of life, and they're ready. They're getting ready to make their mark. And college is supposed to be that time when you start to figure things out, start to think about the future, and start to plan everything that's out in front of you. It's an amazing time. It's an amazing time. And you know, I remember, you know, you think like, where am I going to end up? Where am I going to live? What am I going to do? What's this journey going to be like? And that's the exciting part. And then when you take that journey, it's amazing. And they never got to do that. Never got to do that. The impact of this is unspeakable as well, especially to the families. You know, I'm a parent too. And you know, you send your children, if you're able to, you send them off to college, and you know, you're always worried, right? You're always worried a little bit, but you're excited too. And the best part is they go to school, and every time they come back, they're a little bit different. They're a little bit more, you know, they're growing up, they're experiencing things, and it's exciting. It's exciting. Yeah, it's sad a little bit because they're getting big and they're growing, but it's so exciting because you know how excited they are. And that loss now, that loss that these families have suffered is forever, is forever. The loss is forever. And you have to figure out how to move on, how to continue.
So before Vinny finishes that up, let's check and see something real quick and make sure we're not missing anything.
And again, I think that, you know, when you begin to think.
Okay, we're just waiting for that live update. We're waiting on the live update.
But you can never get away from it because you'll never forget your child. You'll never forget your brother. You'll never forget your sister. Never. Chanley Painter, she's out in Idaho and doing really important work for us in speaking with the families. You know, she's been reporting on the evidence, the crime scene, the facts, the motions, the legal stuff. All of that is so significant. But what she's doing today and what you'll see tonight, to me, brings us to why it's important to shine a light on all these cases that we can. So people can really understand that when you watch a trial on court TV, or you go down to a courthouse, or if you're a juror sitting in that box,
it is not there, by the way.
And what it really, really means. And you're going to see that tonight because she was able to spend a lot of time with Kaylee's dad. And we've seen him a lot. You know, he's been very much out there. But this is going to be different. This is different tonight. This is in a different setting. It's much more revealing, much more real. And I'm so glad that he allowed us to see that. And I want to bring in, joining us live tonight from Idaho, Court TV legal correspondent, Chanley Painter. Chanley, great to see you tonight. I am really... I'm looking forward to seeing and hearing everything that you did today. And I know the folks at home are as well. And today, of all days, right, it's Kaylee's birthday.
Thank you, Miss.
Yeah, Vinny, what an honor it was for me covering this story for months from the beginning. You know, we were on the ground to spend what would have been Kaylee's 22nd birthday with her father, her advocate, her warrior, who's been out on the front lines from day one, seeking answers and justice, not only for Kaylee, his daughter, but for Maddie, for Ethan, for Xana, for the community. And that's what today was about, honoring Kaylee's life, someone he said would have loved to have been the center of attention. She was the middle child. She thrived on being the center of attention, and they wanted to honor her today by a pay it forward campaign called Kaylee Jade Day for her birthday. And he allowed us to go along with him, like you said, as he talked about who she was, what she would have been doing on her birthday, probably on a nearby lake with Maddie celebrating her birthday. She just bought herself a new vehicle. But he told me about, of course, his favorite memories of her birthday and what he misses about her the most. Let's watch.
Kaylee, I remember her tearing up a cake and just making a big mess, getting it in her hair. So she was just so excited about when everyone was focused around her, and she was the center of attention, and everybody was giving her gifts, and she always had her friends over from school. And I have a lot of memories of when she was young and she had that crazy hairdo.
What do you miss most about her?
You know what's sad is I'm looking at, as I'm waiting for the updates and looking at this other chat that I'm looking at, I see people in there that usually in this live talking about one of the victims was a drug dealer. Like, stop with that bullshit.
I missed her smile, and that she was so giving. She really wanted to be like, every morning wake up and be like, I'm gonna go get breakfast, what do you guys want? You know, I'm gonna get coffee, what do you guys want? We're a big family, so it was nice to have somebody that was always thinking about going and doing something and then helping other people along the way. So I'll always miss that, and I'll miss that smile and the hug.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he said the goal of today, and really of all of the families now and really to the future, is to make sure, do everything they can to ensure that it's the victims' names that people remember. When years from now, decades from now, they don't think of the man's name who is alleged to have murdered them, but they remember Kaylee, Xana, Ethan, and Maddie's name as the positive force and impact they had on this community and their loss had on this community, Vinny.
Yeah, I've chosen not to say the name. I do that in a lot of these stories, mass murders. And, you know, sometimes you cover a trial, the name's going to be there. There's going to be a trial. You're going to hear it a ton of times. But I think in this case, you're going to hear those four names, and you're going to remember those four names because that's what everyone's talking about. And that's good. So let's talk about the place where you were many, many times reporting on this case, which was the crime scene, the house where they lived, which turned, I think of the house, I think of it two ways. I think of it one way, like here's where they all lived together and they had some good times, and, you know, they're starting to learn to be adults. They're having parties, friends are over, and, you know, this is it, the big last hurrah for some of them as seniors. But then it's turned into this horrific crime scene. So what do the families want done with this property at this point?
Well, they would like it to be preserved, Vinny, and we know we've reported that the university now owns that property. They have plans to demolish the home this summer. I checked back in with the spokesperson of the University of Idaho today. She confirmed that to me. I asked for a specific date. She says they don't have a specific date just yet for when it is to be demolished, but she said they are working through the process. And this is what Steve told me about why they don't want anything to happen to the home.
We communicated with some other families. There's 3 families that are concerned with that. We're trying to make sure that, that all the proper steps are done. There's audio that, from my understanding, and if there's audio, I don't understand how you could take a house down and not say that people are going to want to hear those sounds from the location of the recording from inside the house, dog barking.
Exactly, like Steve, talk.
So we'll try to do everything, and something like that is just evidence. It's not for or against, it's just evidence. So that's why we're trying to protect it.
It's evidence to be preserved. That's his position, and it may behoove the state to keep it standing, because if you're there in person, Vinny, it does make a difference to see how close this home is to the neighbor's camera that picked up the audio that Steve was referring to. But he also told me that at the last hearing, he spoke to the prosecutor, Bill Thompson, and the prosecutor said that this is going to be a long road for the families. They may not have all the answers for 3 years, Vinny, so this house would have to be standing for a long time in the middle of this community.
It's fascinating that he wants the house preserved as evidence for the trial because there could be a jury view. We see it in many, many cases. In the Murdaugh case, they went back to the scene. It helped the jury to figure it out. It became great evidence for the prosecution in that case, even though prosecutors didn't want to necessarily go there. I am with them on that, by the way. I think in some states, there's like a view in almost every case, like Massachusetts, very common. So I'm with them there. They should preserve it because it is the scene. I understand the university from their perspective, but there's a criminal trial for a mass murderer, and doing everything you can to ensure a conviction should be the first priority, absolute first priority, because we know how things can go south inside a courtroom sometimes. I've seen it. Okay. Does he have any theory about the motive?
Yeah, he does, Vinny. I asked him, what's the connection? Because it's been rumored, Kaylee and or Maddie were the targets of this mass murder. He told me something I hadn't heard him or his family say before about why they think the alleged killer actually went to that home and murdered them. And remember, Maddie and Kaylee were on the 3rd floor. They were in the same room in the bed together, likely the place this murderer started. And so here's what he had to say about it.
They're just two girls that were always happy, always filming. So I think maybe he just seen that happiness and there's something in him that was jealous of the fact that two people could love each other and be like the best friends. And I think that really rubbed him wrong and got him thinking about why do they have this great life and I don't? And I think that's whoever he picked, that'll be the backstory. Is just a jealousy of their lifestyle.
So he believes that allegedly this man was jealous of this lifestyle they were living. We know based on the affidavit of any of that, the alleged murderer visited this area of the crime scene 12 prior times before the murders actually took place. We know there's a lot of search warrants that are sealed in the court files of a digital trail of all types of social media, online outlets that could be revealing. We don't know everything because of the gag order, of course, but also Steve tells me he's not sure if this is the first time that this murderer allegedly did kill, but hopefully he wants those answers as soon as possible.
Yeah, Kaylee and Maddie were living their best lives. They were, and Kaylee graduating early, getting ready for a job, all these other things. Amazing stuff. All right. Now, this is Idaho. Death penalty is the law in Idaho. Prosecutors can seek it. A jury can make a decision on it. Do they support the death penalty in this case?
Absolutely, they do. He told me that's why they moved to Idaho, because it has the maximum punishment like that, Vinny. And he says the person responsible for these murders should receive the highest level of punishment. And he says there is enough evidence in this case that it's over for this guy. Let's watch. The death penalty, you support it, right?
We definitely do. Yep, that's part of the reason we moved to Idaho. We want a community that protects the most vulnerable, and that's something that if a father can't protect them, then you hope that the society is willing to step up and do the right thing. So that's what we're looking for. The ultimate form of justice is that.
So Steve said he wouldn't be surprised if this defendant tries to seek a plea for a lesser sentence, Vinny, but he believes that the person responsible will actually receive the max. I mean, all the evidence is there, and they want him to be sentenced to death.
Yeah, if you're looking at mass murder, you're looking at cruel murder, face-to-face, knife, pain involved, suffering involved in all of this. I've spoken to death investigators looking at the evidence that we have. Seems like there's a strong argument for it. We'll see what prosecutors decide in this case. Meanwhile, the defense, they don't want the world to see this trial, do they?
They don't. We had our hands on some brand new motions from the defense team asking this judge to limit media coverage and cameras inside the courtroom. They're saying that there's numerous social media posts that have people overanalyzing this man's body language, according to the court filings, and they say that audio-visual coverage
Man, let him move
has
in
just
with you.
become an obsession almost of creating unfounded opinions in the media, and it's prejudicial and unfair to his right to a fair trial. And this was Steve Gonsalves's response to that.
If you're not a personable person and you give off weird vibes, yeah, you probably don't want nobody to actually see the truth, see who you are, and read you for how you behave. You can't hide the truth, man. I'm so tired of the secretive and all that stuff. I want this stuff to be out in the open. There's more than enough evidence for people to make a decision, and how can the truth contaminate anything?
We love you, Steve.
And of course, we know Kohberger, he's going to trial in October. Will we have cameras? Will we not? It may be brought up tomorrow in the hearings that we expect to cover in the courtroom. So far, we have cameras in there tomorrow, Vinny, about this gag order, and likely they'll bring up these other issues as well.
He just made the best argument, and I think, we should be making a court TV. Your Honor, how can the truth contaminate anything? How can the truth? You put a camera in the courtroom, you hear the evidence. You don't hear someone saying, well, someone said this inside the courtroom, which may or may not be true. You get to see it and hear it. So how on earth does the truth contaminate anything? I love that. That is amazing. All right. Chanley's staying with us, folks. There's much, much more to this interview. Chanley drove around Kaylee's neighborhood and true insight into today. That's coming up. Coming up next hour.
Another verdict day at Court TV in Manchester, New Hampshire. Adam Montgomery, the father of missing 5-year-old Harmony Montgomery, hears from the jury on his weapons charges.
Do you find the defendant guilty or not guilty? Guilty.
A Michigan daughter now facing a murder charge. Megan Amirowitz is accused of throwing lye and water on her own father while he was sleeping.
The chemical reaction caused severe burns and ultimately his death.
Police caught up with the daughter. She was arrested soon after. The teen faces life in prison if convicted.
Court TV will bring you inside the courtroom for every moment.
The sleeping father murder trial. Live coverage begins Monday morning.
Still no updates on court yet. Still no updates on court.
I want every parent to be able to have an opportunity to speak about their child and the nuances of what made them special. And then our ultimate goal is where people remember these kids and remember how bad this situation was, but it's them that they remember and not the person who did it. This person needs to disappear when it's over and said with. They're not important. They're just a mistake that we let fall through our society's cracks.
No, he's not.
We corrected that, and now we can, really kind of assess how much we lost when we lost these children.
And we're talking about Ethan, Kaylee, Madison, and Xana. Right? This is what this story, this case, and this trial will be about. What happened to
no
these
updates yet on Brian's court date.
Chanley Painter is still with us in Idaho tonight. She spent some time, a lot of time actually, with Kaylee's father. And he did something special today to honor his daughter on her birthday.
He sure did. Today, like I told you earlier, is Kaylee Jade Day here in the Coeur d'Alene, Idaho area. And Steve allowed me to exclusively ride along with him as he kicked off the day to pay it forward. He delivered cash to several local coffee stands, places where Kaylee and Maddie worked growing up and living here in the area, so that they could give free coffees to local customers who stopped by and inspire them to also pay it forward in Kaylee's honor for the day. He said this community has given so much to him and his family that he wanted to pay them back. Let's watch.
Plan today is we are going to go to a couple different locations. We're doing this Pay It Forward campaign, and we're actually driving her car. I'll never see this car as mine. She paid for it. She knew I liked Range Rovers, but I was into the diesel Range Rover. But
oh man, it's so sad. Our hearts are with the Gonsalves family, the Kernodle family, the Chapin family, and Madison Mogan's family. Our hearts are with all of them. Everybody put prayers, Justice for Idaho 4, hashtag added up in here.
She felt like this was a super cute car, which probably is, but that's why it's hard for me to drive it. But today we'll be driving her car, and we'll be doing
not live
this,
though.
Pay It Forward. I remember for months, Christy's like, I don't know what to do. I don't
Only
know what
Zoom.
to do. And you could tear it in that birthday from being a super stressful event to something that you know that at least you're doing something to help people. Unfortunately, when something like this happens, you don't know what to do. Somebody knocks on your door, and it's real at that moment when the police officer does that. So then you go from, okay, they just told us that our babies, 2 of our babies are gone, and they give you a business card and tell you to, call tomorrow and maybe you'll get some more details. At that moment, you feel so lost that you're like, okay, I have a million questions, but there's nobody to call. All right, so we're at the Ramsey. Yep, Renee at Ramsey. These guys were amazing. These guys did everything to help us. So I'm glad I'm able to them. I think I'm gonna go to this first window. Hello? Hi. Hey, how's it going? Nice to see you guys. We're doing a Pay It Forward, so your meal's gonna be free. You guys helped us out with fundraising. We wanted to give back to you guys.
Oh, well, thank you.
Your establishment has been amazing.
Well,
Thank you. Give me some. I'd give you a hug if I could.
Thank you. I appreciate it so much.
All right, you guys have a great day. Oh, see, they're already here. They even already had it. So I knew these were the right people. No, thank you. Like every day you wake up, you think like, well, I need to do something to help find this person. There's like a clue out there that needs to be found, and that's kind of how we were going at it. I remember feeling like this is exhausting. And then when we finally had a suspect, and the relief that you feel knowing that, okay, some answers will actually come and be answered. And that to me is one of the things that keeps you going and makes you, wake up every morning and know that even though you're hurting, there's gonna be some meaning. Families realize that when a case like this big goes, a lot of times they want to label it after the person who did the atrocity.
Okay, I don't know what's going on, but they ended the live on Law and Crime. I have no idea what's going on. They were supposed to give us updates, but there's none going on, so that's weird.
We are doing everything, all families, we've all agreed on this, to bring up stories and the memories and the narratives of our children, so then people remember our children and they don't just remember the person who acted out and did these things. That's the last thing we want them to just remember, the killer, and then never remember the victims. My daughter used to work with you guys. Okay. Kaylee Gonsalves. We're gonna go have a dinner. We're gonna hang out at the swimming pool. Our family's coming over, do a little barbecue. Later. Thank you. Have a great day. we felt like we picked a really safe state and a safe community. We left the city in California where we'd be awoken in different times of the night with sirens and shootings and things. So, and then when this happened, I was like, who in Idaho would do this? Who would be capable of doing that in our community? And I remember talking to one of the officers. We've always tried to put some emphasis on saying we appreciate all the hard work, everything that they've done, and we know that we would not have justice without those men and those women. We were just in the court, a few weeks ago, and we got a little bit of time to talk to Thompson, and Thompson was, he said, it could be 3 years before you guys have any answers, and I was just like, wow, that's hard to hear. So,
What would you most like answered?
I want to just see the evidence, really. I just want them to come out and say, this is our case before, this is what they got to prepare for. I mean, they have it, so let's just bring it out. I don't understand how that can be the truth. How can that be something that's going to contaminate a drink? Yeah, here's where to start to pay it forward for.
Oh, you're awesome. People have already started.
All right, well, thank you. I'm glad they didn't have to wait. You guys have a great day.
Great job.
Thank you, guys. See you guys. We want to make them a part of this whole thing because it spreads the news, it spreads kindness. And, when the most ugliest things happen to you, you either can become ugly or you can spread some kindness. And that's what we're going for. And that's what, these girls would have wanted us to turn this into something that made us happy and stronger.
And Vinny, one of those coffee stands, Renee's on Ramsey, where I was live before the weather.
So, I mean, if this is what you're talking about, I'm looking at this right now. It says heading into the courthouse, heading into the Latah County Courthouse to get ready for the latest hearings in the Brian Kohberger case. These will be about the gag order that limits how much people involved in the Idaho 4 case can share publicly and whether cameras will be allowed in the courtroom. So, I mean, this is here, right here. It says Judge. Here we go. Let's get to it. Meat and potatoes. Judge says he thinks some of the questions about non-decimation surround the fact that this case could potentially involve the death penalty and that the victims' families could be called to testify if that was the case. Judge continues that he's responsible for finding a balance between the First Amendment rights and Mr. Kohberger's Sixth Amendment rights. Gray adds he's blown away that the prosecution doesn't agree with him about the order because the prosecution is supposed to represent the families. He criticized the prosecution's alleged lack of communication with the families. Judge asked Gray how he feels. He's been restrained with this order because he's already been given interviews with the press. Gray replies that the order has been overly broad and takes away from the idea. Let me just make this bigger, right? So it says Judge asked Gray how he feels. He's been restrained with this order because he's already been given interviews with the press. Gray replies that the order has been overly broad and takes away from the idea of the court wants the victims' families to have representation. So let's go down here. It says Judge says his understanding of the language that the gag order now is the victims' families can say whatever they want. Gray said he agrees, but is still arguing against the scope of the order as it pertains to him and the victims' families. Judge says some previous cases show that some families and witnesses have been restricted in the past because they received information about that case, but Gray says he and the Gonsalves family haven't received any info about Kohberger's case pre-trial. Also, Gray cites previous cases in which previous gag orders didn't apply to the victims, their families, or their attorneys. So here it goes. Gray adds that it's clear that he nor the victims' families aren't parties in the case. Judge says it's clear and well established that only parties are the state and Mr. Kohberger. Gray says there were some questions about whether or not the Gonsalves family or himself could speak with the media after Judge Megan Marshall's first non-decimation order. Gonsalves family attorney Shannon Gray thanks Judge on behalf of the families for apologizing for mispronouncing the victims' names before starting with a procedural history of the gag order. Okay, let's see what they're saying. Judge is explaining some of the processes at the arraignment, specifically when Kohberger didn't speak when asked how he pled. He says under Idaho law, if a defendant refuses to speak, they must enter a plea of not guilty. Okay, there's that. Judge is addressing the families. My heart goes out to the families of the victims. The loss of your children is horrific. He also apologizing for mispronouncing some of the victims' names, saying he was upset or he was up all night and had some nerves before the arraignment. On the record, as of 10:37 a.m. first hearing, the Gonsalves family motion to amend the gag order. Gonsalves family attorney Shannon Gray is in attendance, and Judge says some of the family is observing on Zoom. So he's at the court. He's in the courtroom. Is that what I'm following here? Judge Michael Judge has arrived, and we're about. Okay, so now we're caught up on the updates. Let's get up here and see if anything news came through. Let's go ahead and update. All right, let's get back down here and see what anything's been said. 3 minutes ago, it gets a little contentious between Judge and Gray about Judge's authority to limit what can and can't be said by Gray and the Gonsalves family. Judge, I know I have the authority to determine what can and can't be said surrounding the facts of this case. So we're waiting on that. Again, it appears Gray's primary argument is that he and the Gonsalves family haven't received any information about the facts of the case from the prosecutor's office because they're not parties in the case. So they shouldn't be limited on what they can say publicly. Judge continues that he's responsible for finding a balance between the First Amendment rights and Mr. Kohberger's Sixth Amendment rights. So we got that. Let's update again and see if there's anything new out. Let's see what's going on here. All right. Nothing has dropped yet. It gets a little. Let's see if he said anything inside of here. Okay, here we go again. It appears Gray's primary argument is that he and the Gonsalves family haven't received any information about the facts of the case from the prosecutor's office because they are not parties in the case, so they shouldn't be limited on what they can say publicly. Okay, so that was just the second part of that. I gotcha. 27 minutes. Let's go back. Well, okay, so I see it's going all the way down here. That's the thread. Let's go back. Let's see if anything has been brought up. All right. So we're just waiting on a new update. We are waiting on a new update. Thank you, Maria, for giving me that. I appreciate you leading me to that. What all this going on? All right, we got updates coming from the courthouse, so we're waiting. Oh, good. He apologized for mispronouncing the name. Good, they deserve the apology. Judge is annoying. I'm confused. I have no idea if we'll be able to watch it or not. That I don't know. I have no idea, but I know we're going to stay on these updates. We're going to keep following them as they come in. 6 minutes. That was 6 minutes, 9 minutes ago. Okay. So the last update was this right here. If you just came in, the last update was this right here. Thank you, Sue. I appreciate you. Thank you, Sue. This is our last update so far, and I'm waiting to see what else comes through. But if you're just coming in, if you're just joining, make sure you hit the like button. We are getting updates from the courtroom right now. So we're going to find out if anything was said. Let's go ahead and update the page. See if we got anything coming out. Is there anything coming out of the courtroom? Let's see. Still, okay, here's a new update. Thompson says that Gray has asked several questions of his office and they have offered some information but haven't been able to answer all of them. He says the notion that Gray or his clients hasn't received any information from prosecutors is frankly untrue. Okay. Also, Thompson adds that the investigators have tried to interview Gray's clients multiple times and he's declined. Okay. So we got that so far. 3 seconds ago, here we go. Prosecutor Bill Thompson says he has a duty to the court and says that Gray has been making representations that are false. He says he has a duty to correct the record for the public. So we have that. Oh boy, this is getting nasty. Shout out for the updates though. Let's see if anything else has been said. 1 minute ago, Gray wraps up his arguments. Judge turns to the state. Okay. So they're wrapping up their arguments right now. Let's go ahead and refresh, see if we got anything new here to report on. Anything new? Thompson adds that the investigators have tried. Okay, so we've seen that. We've seen that. The state measure statements as proof why a gag order is important, asking judge to maintain the order at the least amended. Okay. So Thompson says that Gray has asked several questions of his office and they have offered some information but haven't been able to answer all of them. He says the notion that Gray or his clients hasn't received any information from the prosecutors is frankly untrue. So allegedly they have information about the case somewhere. I guess that's what they're trying to say. Prosecutor Bill Thompson says he has a duty to the court and says that Gray has been making representations that are false. He says he has a duty to correct the record for the public. Again, if you're just coming in, these are updates live from the courtroom on Brian Christopher Kohberger case versus Idaho. Now, they're making the closing arguments here. I don't know if that's a wrap on that. We'll find out. Let's see. Let's see if that was it. Yeah, it seems like that was it. Let's see. Thompson adds that the investigators have tried to interview Gray's clients multiple times and he's declined. So the prosecutors have tried to talk to his client. I mean, I'm a little bit confused here. So they're basically telling us they reached out to the Gonsalves family? Or I mean, I'm trying to get a hold of this here. No problem, Danielle. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you. We'll lift the gag enough where everyone can be on the same page. I'm getting mad. I don't know. Wait, I need another update after we just read that. Come on, where are we at? Where's the closing arguments? Let's click on this and see what's going on. The state contends that the order is an appropriate measure to ensure a fair trial. Prosecutors say that Mr. Gray's statements are proof why a gag order is important, asking judge to maintain the order or at least amend it. So we've seen that. I see what's going on here. Now all this information is here. Let's see. Understanding the language of the gag order. Anything new yet? Nothing. That was 2 minutes ago. Let's get a little updatey here. Anything. No, 4 seconds ago. Here we go. Prosecution wraps up. Time for Kohberger's defense team to speak. Okay, so here goes Kohberger's defense team. They're about to speak. Kohberger's defense team is about to speak. Here we go. Yep, here we go. All right, here we go. Let's read some of this. Let's see what's going on. Thank you, Midwest Girl. I appreciate you. Let's see what the defense is going to come in and say here. 1 minute ago, prosecution wraps up. Time for Kohberger's defense team to speak. Let's hear from you. Let's see what you got to say, defense team. We're waiting. We're waiting. We are waiting. What's a bullshit alert? What's going on? Bullshit alert what? Tense music, but I like it. Yeah, it is tense for sure. You know? Tense music for sure. All right. I'll turn the music off. I'm just saying, it's getting tense here. We want to, we were just looking at all this. Okay, here we go. The defense has spoken. Let's get into it. Defense says their position is that if Gray and his clients have literal rights that involve you in the case, whether the prosecution is working with them closely or not, they fall under the scope of the non-decimation order, which we were speaking about earlier. If you were in here, you seen me pull up the documents to the non-decimation order that they're speaking about. So there is that. Also, 19 seconds ago, defense says they believe maintaining the gag order is the safest way to ensure a fair trial, so that all that gets said about the case is in court and not in the press. Again, there's another response after this. Defense wraps up Gray back at the podium since it was his order according to the judge.
Oh my God! Stop the cap.
Come on, man.
Oh my God!
All right, let's see. Is there any updates? Nope, that was it so far. So, again, if you just came in, if you just are coming in, the defense is speaking. Prosecution wraps up time for Kohberger's defense team to speak. Defense says their position is that if Gray and his clients have literal rights that involve you in the case, whether the prosecution is working for them closely or not, they fall under the scope of the non-decimation order. Defense says they believe maintaining the gag order is the safest way to ensure a fair trial, so that all gets said about the case is in court and not in the press. So then again, the defense wraps up. Gray back at the podium since it was his order according to Judge. So we're waiting on another statement. Let's get to it.
Oh my God!
Thank you, Bella. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right, here we go. Gray says the notion that if someone has rights in a trial, that they are involved doesn't apply here, and insists that he and his clients aren't parties in the case. There we are. Woo! It's heating up in there.
Finish him.
It is heating up in the courtroom. I see. Okay. It's heating up with this little gag order going on. All right. So 30 seconds ago, Gray says previous case right here. Let's watch out. Let me get my mouse there. Gray says previous case law shows that an attorney can only be limited if they're actively litigating the case and appearing in court. Judge says, you're in court right now. Gray says, you brought me in here to argue this motion. Judge, this was your motion. Gray says the notion that if someone has rights in a trial that they are involved doesn't apply here, and insists that he and his clients aren't parties in the case. So there we are. Live updates coming out the courtroom. Make sure you smash that like button as you come in. Subscribe if you're new to the channel for all live updates on the Idaho 4 case. Let me see a 1 in the chat if you want that gag order lifted, so all the misinformation and rumors can stop. Put 2 if you think they shouldn't lift it. I'm nosy, so 1. Let's see if they got any live updates. No live updates as of now. Let's refresh the page. Let's see if we got any live updates from the courtroom. I have seen none so far. 6 minutes, 3 minutes. Maybe he's typing it out as we speak, so we're waiting. Let's click in here. Maybe there's an update in here. 17 seconds ago, ladies and gentlemen, 17 seconds ago, Gray, this idea that the victims' families are going to be witnesses in this case is an attempt by the prosecution to shut them up and shut me up. Okay, so we have more coming in. Here we go. We got more coming in. And then again, right here, Judge says the non-decimation order was agreed to by all parties involved. Gray, I never consented to it. You fight, buddy. Judge, I know. As you've said, you're not a party to the case. Woo. It's heating up in there, man. It's heating up in there. Ah! Fight, baby, fight. Go, Gray. Go, Gray. Go, Gray. Yeah, the judge did clap back. Let's see if there's anything else said in here, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing so far. Yes. So we can stop this misinformation on the streets of the YouTube. The streets of YouTube, you know. I think so, but then again, you know, the families are aiming for it. I stand behind the victims and the victims' families. I stand behind them heavy. If that's what they want, I stand behind them. I think that, if you heard Steve, we just watched the interview with Steve. He said he's sick and tired of all this. And I know he's talking about the speculation going on out here. He said, we want to know the facts. He has spoke on that heavily. So let's back out of this thread, right? Let's back out of this thread. Let's go down 9 minutes, 5 minutes. Okay. Let's back up again. Let's update this whole thing. 14 seconds ago. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. 14 seconds ago. Judge says he won't be issuing a decision today. He says there has been a lot of information given today that he needs to take into consideration before giving a ruling. He adds that he hopes a written order will come in the coming days. All right, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Existing non-decimation order stands in the meantime. No changes to the scope of it as of now, but again, we expect judge's ruling to come in the next few days. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it. Court is adjourned.
Get the fuck out of here!
There it is. No gag order as of far, but he's still got to make a decision on it. So, we will be having to wait on that, unfortunately.
Go ahead. Do it. I want you to.
We want that lifted. There does not need to be one here. So whatever the Richard, the judge defending his alma mater. They just lost 2 of their babies. Save the attitude, John Judge. Thank you, Low 12. I appreciate you. Come on, Judge. This is crazy, man. So no gag order is being lifted. No gag order is being lifted. I hate the judge. Drag it out. Okay, this could be good. We don't know yet. All right, so he's taken everything into consideration. Thank you, Contractors Association of Will and Grundy Counties. I appreciate you. Thank you, as seen by a subscriber. I appreciate you. I told so. Too much at stake. Well, they haven't made a decision, so let's see what's going down here. Let's upgrade. Let's update this real quick and see if there's any other updates that we may not have seen. Because there might be. 43 seconds ago. Here we go. We are adjourned. Kohberger left the courtroom with his defense team emotionless. Next hearing will be at 1:30 p.m. I'll be on KHQ local news nonstop stream momentarily with a wrap up from the hearing number 1. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. So 1:30 is going to be 2 hours from now. 2 hours from now. Next here, if he, I know that's West Coast time. So if he's saying 1:30 p.m., that's here is going to be 3:30. So we're talking 2 hours. If you guys, let's see, that's wild. My time, it'll be 3:30 Central. 3:30 Central, 4:30 Eastern time. 3:30 Central, 4:30 Eastern time is the next hearing. But that's good. I'm pretty sure that next hearing is about the cameras in the courtroom. I'm pretty sure that's what it's about. I could be wrong, but Judge is going to take days to make his decision on whether to loosen the gag order or even possibly remove it in its entirety. So if you had just tuned in, Judge says he needs a couple days or some days to figure out what to do with this gag order. Now, I'm pretty sure at 3:30 Central, 1:30 Cali time, which is Pacific time, 4:30 Eastern time, is going to be the next court date, which I want to say they might be I could be off, but I'm pretty sure they're discussing the cameras in the courtroom. I'm pretty sure they are. So that's what I think that's about. It's definitely going to take some days for that. So So what you saying? What you saying? The tweet said what coffee cake say? What did I miss? What I miss? Coffee cake. Are you serious? Do you not see what the fucking tweet says right here? Do you see that right there? You see that word right here? What the fuck are you talking about? I didn't say that. It said T-REV. You said, how the hell can I can't even see the dude right now. How would I know if he's emotionless? How would I know if he's emotionless? I can't see him through this tweet. That's funny as hell. Man, I can hold on. Let me close my eyes and look through my crystal ball. Okay, Kohberger's in his cell now. He's uppercutting the wall. I'm just playing. Yeah, looking through my crystal ball, I can see. Oh, he's very emotionless right now. I can see him in my head. He's very emotionless. He's eating a bologna sandwich in a paper bag. He's not vegan no more. Very emotionless. Face is just cruel looking. I'm just kidding. Yeah, you definitely missed something. Somebody thought I said he was emotionless when it says it right here. Let me highlight it for you and make it bigger. Here, you see that right there? Where's it at? Right there. Kohberger left the courtroom with his defense team emotionless. Just like that so you can see right there. Let that sink in. highlight it for you there. Again, this case is out of Judge's league. Closure. I want it lifted too. Definitely. Homicidal stare too. Saw and heard it. Oh well, who gives a fuck? I said emotionless because that's the way that I can see it. Left this team emotionless. I don't think the judge has a clue. What's that? But I'm getting judged for the way that I say words now. The fuck? He hasn't showed emotion once. He is evil. Damn, man, you get judged for saying the word emotionless certain ways nowadays. It's crazy. I'd be getting judged if I was the one in the courtroom. Shit, I'd be getting ate to pieces. Essentially nothing, emotionless because he is the devil. He is the devil. Freaking spell check. We believe you. We getting nothing done today. I mean, that's about it. It's about it with that right now. It's about a wrap on that. Let's see. Let's see what they're talking about now. We got a whole last hour.
Became precarious. We had to move inside now, but they gave away over 100 coffees and meals today, and they said that people were so inspired that they started donating cash as well, where they're going to be able to pay Steve back for what he donated, plus a lot more for the families. So the Gonzalez family hopes that this tradition, of course, continues every year in honor of Kaylee's birthday.
You know, it really struck a chord with me is when Steve was talking about moving to Idaho and why he moved there. Every time my family's moved, right, you have to pack everyone up and go somewhere when you're in our business, and you're moving to a new area. You know, you scout the area and you say, all right, where's the safest place? What's the safest street in the safest community? And I so much relate to what he did. And he did everything out of the city. And cities are fine, but he wanted to be someplace that was.
All right. So, what are your thoughts on the gag? Every 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes and 30 seconds. What are your thoughts on this gag order not being lifted? And he's taking a couple days to think about it. What do you think the results are going to be? Do you think they're going to lift it? Let's hear about it. 757 sent from heaven. What's going on? You're live. 5 minutes and 30 seconds. No slack. Let's go.
Okay, it's Donna again.
What's going on, Donna?
Hey. All right. I know there's a lot of disappointment. I know he hasn't made a decision yet, but, I'm in favor of this gag order, except for I think he could loosen it up a little bit, depending on what information he's going to give. But I wanted to kind of set an example of what I was talking about earlier, about the longer this case goes and people stay out of the press and move on with their lives and really don't pay attention. I like to see, every person that's listening to this, ask 5 people that you know to tell you about this case, and see how many people out of those 5 can tell you about this case. And you're going to see that when you live and breathe, crime and true crime, and you do what we do every day, it's different. The people, like I said earlier, they move on. There's things that happen in cases you can't even remember that happened 2 months ago, just because you moved on to something else. So I'm kind of happy about this myself, because of the fact that I want to know that when they go to court, that everything is locked tight, there's not going to be no bullshit, and there's not a chance of something going wrong. And Do I think the family should know certain things? Yeah, I do. You know, it's their right. You know, as citizens, you know, we have a right to be able to watch our judicial system, but nothing says that we have a right to anything that they've got right now on this case. We're not part of the case. We're just watching. You know, we're just in the arena waiting, you know, due process kind of deal. But I'd like to see, you know, I mean, I know it's a hard way to do, you know, there's no way to really calculate or research on that, but, you know, just for yourself, ask 5 friends or family members or whatever, you know, God, did you hear what happened with Idaho's case? Or, you know what's going on with the Idaho case? Or have you heard about the Idaho case, you know, Idaho 4? See what they say, you know. I can honestly, I'm sorry, my phone just plowing off. Hold on a minute. Ah! No. Sorry, everybody. I'm the one with all the noises in my phone calls. But anyway, I would just like to see what people come up with, you know. And I'm going to ask 5 people that I know, you know, people that I know watch the news, people that, you know, I don't know if I know they're on social media all the time, but I want to see out of just my own self how many people I can really find that can have a good conversation with me about this, that's not online, that's not like, you know, in the family or, you know, on Discord or whatever, because it'll let you see where people's minds are really at on this case. Do I think Judge is doing the right thing? Yes. I mean, he's not doing a hasty decision. He's going to sit back and kind of look at the whole situation, because he wasn't there when it first happened. So he needs to look at everything, and he needs to just process it and see what's the best route to take. You know, sure, it's tough on the family, absolutely. But what would be even worse is this guy get off for something that goes wrong. So, for me, I'm satisfied with it for now, you know. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say.
I appreciate you, Donna. It's going to be a nothing burger at 3:30, this media hearing. It's going to be a big-ass nothing burger because it's basically going to be exactly the same thing that they just told Gray, which is the Gonsalves family attorney.
Well, did you find whether or not it's going to be about the cameras? I was looking for it.
No. It's going to be about the media gag order from what I was just reading.
Oh, okay. I was looking for, there was a list online and I couldn't find it. I was looking for it. Well, I mean, we'll see. I mean, but
I seen them post about it. It's going to be about the media gag order at 3:30. At 1:30.
Today was for just the Gonsalves family.
That part was that, but this part coming up at 4:30
is for the media.
Is for the media gag order. So I mean, it's
I gotcha.
the same exact thing.
I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens.
All right, Donna. Thank you so much for calling in. God bless you. Thank you for having a voice in the community as usual. And just expect this gag order to probably stay in place. But who knows? We may be baffled. He may just say, you know what, remove it. We never know.
Community to come to and share my thoughts.
Thank you, Donna. I appreciate you. God bless you.
All right.
Lock your doors. We love you.
We love you too. Bye-bye.
Shout out to Donna.
Go ahead. Do it. I want you to.
So the gag order is so far going to stay in place for a couple days. Also, we'll see what's going to happen, guys. We're gonna see what happens. So I appreciate everybody who was a part of this. This gag order hearing for the media at 3:30 is a big nothing burger. We covered the part we wanted to cover, which was Steve Gonsalves. It's going on 4 hours. I'm about to go eat some lunch, take my meds. I have to take my meds. I actually was supposed to take them at 12. I'm already slacking. take Sosa out, all that. I appreciate everybody that was here with me today. God bless y'all. Like I said, nothing burger on this media hearing. I will be paying attention to it. Maybe I might come back on live again, but I need to definitely take a break. I love you guys. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you. And I will see you guys again soon.
Anyone who knew Kaylee would tell you the same thing. To know her was to love her. Her love for life and everyone in it was so inspiring. She made it a priority to make everyone feel so important and so loved.
There was never a day that she didn't want to race her brother because she was just determined that girls were faster than boys, or that she didn't want to go bug her little sisters.
Favorite memory for me was watching the game with her, and every time the Steelers scored, I'd pick her up and I'd hold her high in the air.
I didn't really realize that I was in love with Maddie until the summer of 2020. We went to McCall and spent a lot of time on the water. We floated the river and just hung out every chance we got.
They went to other countries together. Karen took them to Hawaii together. We took them to Mexico together. They went to college together. They went to high school together. They lived in their own apartment together. They were sisters.
She was so positive and lighthearted and understood the gift of life more than anyone I know. I remember her getting so mad at me for caring about the little things that didn't matter. She would always tell me she wouldn't know what to do without me, and now I have to live this life without her.
And she taught me a lot of stuff. She taught me how to be a dad. And I didn't know that until she was gone, you know?
Santa, you will not be forgotten. You have impacted so many lives and have given people so much love. I hope I can make you proud and try to leave an impact on this world and on people like you did.
He had such an infectious smile and a charismatic personality. And if you knew anything about Xana as well, they were very similar in how they acted together.
They were always so happy, and the way she would talk and smile about him was something I've never seen her do before. She truly loved him so much, and I know he had so much love for her.
We are eternally grateful that we spent so much time with him. And I want to remind you that that's the most important message that we have for you and your families, is to make sure that you spend as much time as possible with those